Welcome, everyone, to the Overheard Podcast, recorded live in Banff. My name is Dan. As always, I got my co-host here.
Matty Rage, let's go.
It is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. Got a big, good friend of ours here today in the studio with us. We got Kyle Guy. Welcome
What up?
to the stew.
Let's go.
So what's going on? How's your week been so far?
Man, week's been pretty crazy actually. It started off hot, couple sunburns out on the road, clearing dust. I'm sure we pissed a lot of people off.
I saw that.
Oh man, honestly, that was brutal, man. My beard turned into Velcro.
Oh,
And then I woke up today and we had to go clear snow again, and I was not. I wasn't into it today, man.
Back to
Dude,
back.
I feel bad, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I ain't into this today.
yeah, a bit of a flash storm here in the town of Banff today. Just posted on the Insta a little view from the stew. It is pounding snow out
Oh,
there.
yeah. It's going to
Dude,
be
it's
a
crazy.
good day tomorrow.
If people went to Norquay today, you know the snow was coming down.
Dude, I went to Norquay.
Yeah,
It was pretty
There's a
wild.
bunch of
It was
people out
pretty
there today,
wild. For all of our viewers out there, if you don't know who Kyle Guy is, you might recognize him from Bruno's back in the day. Served me a couple of drinks back there. R.I.P.
yeah.
to Bruno's. Or the candy store. The candy store. Spent a lot
Dude.
of time. Part of how I know how funny Kyle is to begin with is some of the posts that you used to do about the candy store. We'll dive into some of those later.
Oh, God. Yeah,
But yeah, currently doing stand-up comedy as well as part of the revival of stand-up shows here in Banff. Yeah, so welcome to the pod, man. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. This is a cool experience, man. I'm definitely into this. This is crazy. I've been around a long time, and this is cool. This is kind of. I heard somebody was doing a YouTube show in the compound like years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But this is far beyond
Well,
any
thanks,
of that, man. That's
Appreciate it.
I've been tuning in. I've been watching every Wednesday morning, start my day.
Nice.
Right
nice.
on.
There you
Couple
go.
beers, the YouTube, catch
Can't go
up.
wrong, can't go wrong.
That's right.
Well, we appreciate the kind words for sure. We look forward to pumping out more episodes as we go.
Oh,
We
hell.
got tons of guests lined up. We got tons of topics to cover. So yeah, no shortage of people to talk to in the town of Banff.
No doubt.
Stand-up comedy. You got any dates coming up?
Dude, not that I know of. I kind of find out like there'll be Chewy will post something and I'm just on the poster,
Okay.
and that's just kind of how it's been going. And
Just like, oh, we're playing.
and I'm cool with it. And the worst part is I have quite a bit of anxiety, so like I'm like, fuck, I got to come up with something pretty soon, and then I forget about it, and then it's like the day of, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, okay, now.
We better pull something together.
Yeah, and I didn't. The one last night at Rose, I was kind of stoked for. I got caught up. Life happens, and I didn't get
Fair.
to go. You went though, did you?
I was
How
there.
was it?
Yeah, I was there. It was great. I was flying solo. I had a couple co-pilots, bail on me. Life happens, like we say.
Hey, I had other things.
You had life
I'm
happen,
just
man.
busting your chops here a little bit. I went down. It was great. Ran into Chewy. All the old comics. Tar was there. Gene was there. A couple great headliners. I forget their name specifically. Yanni was hosting. Hilarious.
Well, the one dude apparently opened for Bill Burr.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Oh shit.
I can't remember his name, but I looked up some of his stuff and shit's tight, dude.
He was pretty
I think
funny.
he's good.
Probably the funniest part about the show last night was some random dude. So I ended up sitting at a table with Chewy and Frank, and some random guy shows up, and he was playing in the band. I guess it might have been at the Rose and Crown. I thought Brantley was playing last night, but maybe they had a different band going on. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
so this band from Chicago's in, and this dude is like, "Can I do a quick spot?" And they put him on, and this guy was so funny. Like,
Yeah, I love
yeah.
that.
and he had this crazy laugh. Like,
You gotta have nuts to get up there and just wing it like that.
yeah, the head.
that's
Well, this
crazy.
guy was like, he's a stand-up. Like, I followed him after on Instagram.
okay.
I got his
Okay,
Instagram. Like,
okay.
he does stand-up and plays in a band. Big shout out to him. It was so funny. So his laugh was insane. Like, even the headliner was calling him evil Seth Rogen because he's just like, he's dying laughing, and like he was the punchline. It was so funny. Like, I don't know. Having him in the room just made everything seem more and more funny.
That's great, man.
Big shout
How's the turnout?
It was pretty good. I saw like, I want to say 30 to 40 people.
See, because that
in the
room's
room.
quite big, but it fills up quick, man. The Rose is sick.
Well, what I noticed is people are scared to get right up. So there's always one table that's right at the front, and that one stayed empty. Like, people filtered in throughout the night.
Was that where was that at the was that the brew pub?
No, it was at the Rose and Crown again.
Oh, okay. Sweet,
yeah, yeah.
sweet.
So the exact same
Exact
room.
same
They had
spot,
it
yeah.
set up a little bit different. They had more tables, which was good because last
Oh, cool.
time people were like standing.
Yeah.
But that front table where the comedians actually stand, like, they're
It's just
It's
like
an
the,
intimidating
it's like the
spot
no
to be in.
splash zone at like SeaWorld. No one like there's people that will sit there, but like
But you're gonna get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna
And
get
if you
it.
go there and you get like offended, like you know you're gonna get it. Why the fuck would you sit there? You know,
I mean,
if you
yeah,
can't take it,
it's-
stand in the back.
it's got like it's coming. Like you're in the front row at a comedy show. You've seen like you have the internet, so you've seen clips.
Yeah.
You know how this goes.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the shorts of people just getting singled out. Like, what are you guys together? And they're like, no, we're just friends.
And
They're
that
like,
stuff's
"Oh."
hard, man. That whole crowd work stuff, that's
Oh, I
not
know.
easy.
Yeah, it's-
well, yeah, it's a lot of thinking on your feet, I would assume. Like,
Yeah.
Well, we
but-
got into it with the last couple comedians we had. And we're like, how do you do crowd work? And they're like, you got to just fucking do it, man. Like sometimes stuff sticks, sometimes it doesn't. It's like,
You got to really find somebody who's famous that they look like, who's kind of fucked, and then you just go off that and
Yeah.
compare them to that.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
I could see that. That's smart.
that's pretty sweet. So yeah, let's jump more into like the formal interview process. Where did you? How long you been in Banff? Where you from? Let's go
Dude.
dig into a little bit of who Kyle Guy is.
Get it.
Kyle Guy, I came here for a 1 week visit 10 and a half years ago.
Nice.
I think
Yeah.
that's a common thread.
And you know what? It is common. And I'm from Ontario, Windsor. Shout out best pizza on planet Earth.
Chatham, Ontario. Let's go.
Dude,
Yeah.
Chatham's funny. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
and I knew you're from
That's where
Chatham.
that's where the
Uh,
Hawaiian pizza was invented, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
By a
the
Greek
satellite
dude.
at the satellite restaurant on
Yeah.
King Street
No
in Chatham,
way.
Ontario. That's where the Hawaiian pizza was
And
invented.
Chatham,
Yeah.
anybody coming from Windsor, you're stopping in Chatham because you're going to start your road trip to anywhere you're going and base it on the time the beer store opens in Chatham. So you can hit the road,
nice.
grab
Yeah.
your stash, go to Grand Bend or wherever you're going.
Yeah, straight up.
But I've never had a good time in Chatham.
No,
Straight up.
I mean, I grew up there and I've had some decent times, but I don't think any of them were particularly great. You're just like,
Wheels In was tight.
Wheels In was tight. I did mushrooms, went to the Wheels In ones. With the
That
glow,
sounds tight.
the glow in the dark carpet, because the arcade was just like one of those classic like 80s, 90s, like black carpet with like crazy triangles.
Like a movie theater and
Right.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you just go in there on black light and they had like mini golf and you're just like ripped in there. You shouldn't even be in there probably, but you know, when
It's like a Zeller's parking lot carnival inside of a building.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
like,
that
it's
sounds
like-
like a
and
great
they had
time.
go-karts,
Yeah,
they had like a
sick.
roller coaster, they had water slides, like
Yeah.
the pool, man. That place was bomb. before
it
but-
was like a poor man's West Ed, straight up.
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
it was. Yeah, they had a little bit of kind of everything in there. It was
And I think them never renovating it was like part of the charm. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it just
Like-
stayed the same. Like
Sometimes things keep their charm like
they
that.
add, they did add though. They added like the like that second part with like they had like a little roller coaster and shit.
Right.
They upgraded that, and then they added the go karts as well, which was sick.
Go,
we had,
everybody loves go-karts.
we had a
man.
buddy that worked there, and she's like, "Oh, is it?" She rode her bus. She's like, "Just come there if you guys want. Like, I'll hook you guys up with free laps." We went there for like 5 hours in one day. Just like
Oh,
what-
free laps at the cart is a
Yeah.
sick
Oh, we
hookup
were
to
we
have,
burned through
bro.
like 2 tanks of gas on those go karts.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it's
pretty
insane.
nice.
Oh, it was great.
So, why'd you move to Banff there, Kyle?
So
Why'd
okay.
you leave the beauty of the indoor Zellers Carnival to go to the beauty of the mountains?
So what happened? I don't know if you were here, but I'm sure people listening are. When it flooded here in
Oh, yeah.
2013, first of all, the fucking most mosquitoes I've ever seen in my life after that happened.
Oh
Mhm.
god.
But Toronto flooded at the same time. But Toronto's was more like a sewage backup
yeah.
issue.
Oh, okay.
Gross.
And my buddy's dad owned like this construction company that pooled together a bunch of other construction companies. We went up and did demo in Toronto, and I made a bunch of money. Like they were paying for us to drive there from Windsor and our hotels, and we were
Oh,
just in
shit,
the
that's
back
right.
seat pulling buckets and shit. Like,
Yeah,
like
dope.
dude, it was so straight.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I made a bunch of money, and it was right after I graduated high school. So I was 18, and I got into like 8 different colleges, but I didn't realize you have to pay to go to them.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
So I made a good
You're
amount
like-
of money, but not enough to go to college.
I
Fair.
see, I see.
And my buddy was living in Lake Louise. He ended up moving to town here, and I was just coming to visit him.
Nice. Who was that?
And you know my buddy Bruno?
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Hey, you know Bruno?
Yeah,
Yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
like
Big shout out.
Pambaco?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, he's from back home too, eh?
yeah, he would come home because he's a year older than I am, so he would come back and visit. I was in grade 12,
Cool.
and I would get him to call the school and be like, "Oh, Kyle's gonna be away this week and shit." And I would just go party at his house.
Nice.
And his mom was a teacher at our school.
What?
And she was one of my teachers. So she's like, "Oh, Kyle's away this week," and I'm upstairs in his room taking bong tokes and shit. Like it was.
Sick.
She's like, "Kyle's in a lot of trouble, man." And I'm like, "Fuck." Like,
It's a pretty sick scam, though.
it was. It worked out. But he moved here, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you just crash on the couch, whatever." And
Nice.
I lived there, I don't know, for that week, and I accidentally got a job at the candy store,
Nice.
like completely on
That
accident.
was it.
Okay, let's dive into that. So,
Right.
for
Like
all
how-
of our viewers listening, Kyle spent a ton of time working at this candy store. Like,
Yeah.
9.5 years, bro.
yeah, okay,
Damn,
9.5 years.
9.5
There
That's
you go.
crazy.
That's wild.
Let's dive into it. How did you accidentally get a job at the candy store?
So where I was staying on Bruno's couch there was Moose and Otter, okay? And at the time, IGA was Safeway.
Yep,
And
yeah.
I had, no job, no nothing to do. And he's like, "Man, when I get home from work, let's fucking cook some food." And I'm Moose and Otter, and I'm looking for Safeway. I end up on Banff Avenue at the candy store. I have no clue where I'm going. And I saw a
The
help
wrong
wanted
way.
sign, and I walked in. It was the busiest place I've ever seen. And I was like, "Fuck, maybe I should work here." And Tommy was in there, and he was in the weeds, dude.
Sick.
And he's
yeah.
like, "You gotta go talk to my wife." And I was like, "All right." And I went downstairs. I go down the stairs, and I got a Labatt blue tank top on. My hair's, past my tits,
Right
and,
on.
and I'm fried. And I'm absolutely fried. And I was like, "Hey, you guys are hiring?" And she took one look, and she goes, "Come back wearing sleeves, and we'll talk." And I was like, "All right."
Tommy
And,
just sent you downstairs. He's like, just go.
oh, dude, it was so busy. I've never seen it. It was,
Oh, yeah.
it was
It gets
fucking
wild, man.
And and then next thing you know, I worked there for 9.5 fucking years.
Right on. Great. That's a great origin
I-
story for the
My
candy
mom's
store.
like, "When you flying back in?" I was like, I got a job actually
Never.
at a candy store.
Right on.
Hey.
So yeah, he's slaying candy for so many years. So yeah, your buddy Bruno helped you move here, crashed on the couch. Big shout out to Bruno.
Let's go.
Yeah, does all my tuning down at the tune shop. Big shout
Dude,
out
he's
to-
good at
he's
that
the
shit.
man.
I
He's the
know.
Growing
man,
up
dude.
in the garage, he was always tinkering with something. If anything needed to be fixed, Bruno could do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you could make a bong out of anything, Bruno could do it. like it was, he's one of those guys, man.
So a
like
common
I'm like-
question that gets asked on the Overheard and Banff page is where you bring your stuff to get tuned. You bring it to that tune shop down in
Yeah,
the,
you go
in the
talk to
restaurant.
Bruno. He's got you.
Oh, yeah,
Go
they'll sort you right out.
Yeah.
put some of that sweet loving on your boards and your skis, baby.
Oh God! So you've been out here the whole time? Then you didn't like do a stint back home?
No,
Nothing
dude.
like that.
I did. I ended up saving up a couple bucks, and I did go to college for one semester.
What'd you do?
Take, yeah.
Skilled woodworking. So I can't like frame or anything like that, but it was like making cabinets and
Cool.
tables and shit like that.
Cool.
And then second semester comes around, and I thought it was like the grocery store where I could pay at the end. You got to pay before.
Oh yeah,
And
you got
they're-
paid up front.
like-
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
you
worked
don't
for a
pay at the
second.
end of the semester. They make
Yeah.
you pay like,
oh yeah, big time.
yeah, they're not like,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
you just pay us in like 4 months.
I
It'd
was
be
so
cool.
taken back. I was like, "What the fuck do you mean I can't?" I was like, "Class is at 8 a.m." They're like, "Not for you, bro."
Oh God.
Welcome to life, brother.
Yeah, it was hard. They're like, "No, it's actually $4,000 right now," and I'm like, "Ooh, I'll see you guys later." Yeah,
Oh, so you just did.
and then I
yeah.
came back.
Where'd you do school?
St. Clair College,
Oh, cool. Yeah, in Chatham or Windsor.
Windsor,
Nice. nice.
Windsor. Yeah, it's
mean-
just an old greasy little college,
Yeah.
right? And it was cool, man. Like there was a bar there was the biggest fucking problem. There was a bar inside the school
Yeah, I
on my
know,
way to
yeah.
class.
I found myself down there many afternoons. It's like, well, I mean,
I'm getting steak and eggs at the college at
Yeah.
fucking 8 a.m. There's something wrong with me, man. It was
oh yeah, they had pickled eggs at our
Yeah.
college bar. It was fucking awesome, dude. You go down there after class, just like, you'd be in between class. You're like, I'll just go down for a beer and a couple pickled eggs. Then you got like
couple pickled eggs.
5 beers, 3 pickled eggs, and you're like, well, maybe I'm not going back to
You're
class
like,
this afternoon.
forget
Maybe
about class.
we'll just take the afternoon off, and then you go across the street and hit Carrie's, and then that's pretty
See,
much the end of it. Yeah.
I really liked the program I was in. My Pepe, he was him and all of his brothers were into doing woodworking, and they used to build houses and shit. And
okay, cool.
in the back of my grandparents' house, he built a shop. And he had all these tools, so I was using them during class, but they're not like the new ones. They're all belt driven, like they're old
Yeah,
as
yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
They're the ones that show you the safety videos about stop using these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck.
And so it was cool to do that, and it's still a passion of mine. I still enjoy doing it. I just
Nice.
definitely don't have a plaque on the wall that says I can do it.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Who cares? Man?
Yeah.
You don't need a plaque telling you
Oh,
that you
fuck
can
no.
do it. You know
Well,
what I mean?
like some of the best like woodworkers on the planet are just guys that like chill out and do that
Self-taught,
shit
you
on
know?
their own. You know, what
I
mean?
work
Like,
with a dude who does some crazy woodworking stuff,
nice.
and that's not his job.
The big Nick Offerman fan then.
Dude, he's a good dude.
he's
funny,
good.
dude. He's funny.
Have you seen some of the shit he builds?
No.
Oh, dude, he's like, check out his website. He does like, I think one of the tables was like 12 grand or something for
Oh,
like
Oh, dude, handmade
a dining
woodwork
table,
stuff
but
is-
it's like night. Like he's like by hand, like this shit's made. Like,
Dude, I have a buddy that took the same program I did a couple years before we went to high school together, and he now has a full blown reclaim business,
oh, crazy.
and he kills it. He absolutely kills it. And he puts on this road little festival on the block of where his shop's at. And I remember he had all this stuff for sale, obviously, and this one table he couldn't sell. He's like, "We're gonna bring it out and skate it. We're gonna skate this table."
Sick.
And as we're carrying it out, someone was like, "Oh, bro, I'll buy that." And he was like, "All right," and just sold it for like $3,000 real quick.
Crazy.
That's
we were about to go
insane.
skate it. Yeah.
You're gonna go skate it, and somebody's like, "Oh, well, I mean, if you're gonna skate it, I'll give you $3,000 for it."
Yeah, dude,
but-
and you know what?
Save
He's
this
built
table.
up a huge business for himself, and he took the same program I did. Maybe I fucked up.
Crazy. Well, I had a buddy from high school that basically started working at a cabinet maker in Chatham like during high school. So he did that until he graduated. By that point, he already had like 3 years into cabinet making and
Yeah.
finishing, right? So finished high school, just went, got a job at another shop, got a job at a better shop, and now he's doing the same thing. He's doing like $50,000-$60,000
Yeah,
dining room tables out
and
of
his shit's
like
probably sick too.
natural live edge, like
Yeah.
laminated with like burl and shit. It's just like it's insane, man. So there's like that back home is kind of like
What people
massive,
do,
man.
yeah.
well, because there's so many new build homes, right? Like back
Mhm.
home where we are, it's
There's no character to the
construction,
home
yeah.
anymore, so you got to get character in the furniture.
gotta build
yeah.
oh,
to it.
straight up,
Yeah.
straight up. Like
Fair
I built
enough.
houses with my brother there for
Yeah.
years and years, and like 90% of the houses you walk in, it's the same layout. Like
Mhm.
you could be in one house and walk over to the next house, be like, "Did I leave that here, or was that in the exact same room in the house across the street?" Because it's the same floor plan. Like,
yeah,
it's
just the same
yeah.
cookie cutter type homes out there.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, Chatham's kind of like that.
much
whole-
much different.
Old
than here in
Chatham's
Banff,
dope.
for sure.
Old Chatham is dope. Yeah, like right downtown, all
Yeah.
like Old King Street, all that stuff.
Down
like,
by Wendy's. It's
Yeah.
my favorite place in Chatham.
oh, down by Wendy's.
Yes, there.
Oh god,
Yes,
the old
sir.
Wendy's down there, like on St. Clair.
Though, dude, it's still got like the greenhouse side on it. You know what I mean?
Like the one at like right across from where Zellers and all that.
I was gonna say, I think
yeah.
it's right by Zellers.
Yeah, it does. It's like
you guys fucking love the Zellers, huh?
Dude.
Jeez.
oh yeah, dude, we love Zellers and Chatham. Well, it was like
the heart of Chatham.
Zellers, Kmart, and that shit, right? Like it is.
Wow. So what keeps you here in the town of Banff?
It's the people, dude.
People.
It's absolutely. It's not the tourist people. It's the people I've met, man. Over 10 years, man. Working at the candy store, obviously, working for Tommy and his wife. That's a well-known family here. They have friends that then I meet, and bartending at Bruno's. Bruno's was the lick.
It was
man.
fun.
Oh,
man.
I miss Bruno's,
Every-
man. Jerry was the man.
Jerry's-
like, he's
the homie.
solid dude. Solid dude.
Big shout out to
And
Jerry.
Oh, big
everybody I met that I'm still friends with, I met through there. Pretty sure I met you through coming there, maybe,
Definitely.
or
I've
maybe
seen you
me.
there.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like
Like,
everybody, like
and they did music, karaoke. That's how I got started there. I was hosting karaoke, and I was working the door at Tommy's. But I ain't a bouncer, man. I was like, I'm too nice. I can't.
Forget
I,
about it, man.
I was just
too
there.
nice, he said.
I was just checking IDs, man. I wasn't doing much.
I bounced a little bit, and it's like you're the fun police. Like nobody wants to be the fun
Oh,
police, man.
dude.
You want to be there having a
Well,
good
then
time.
you catch a dude doing a rip on the table next to you, and I'm like, bro,
Come
and
on,
he's
man.
like, dude, I needed it, and I'm like, what?
Well, you need to get out of here.
Yeah, I was
Jake.
like,
yeah,
well,
you
now
need
you
to
gotta
leave.
go,
Yeah.
and I'm taking this $50 bill. Peace.
Peace.
But
Bye.
it's definitely the people that keep me here, man. So many friendships that you just obviously the homies back home, and that's forever.
Mhm.
But here is everybody's coming from so many different places. and
yeah.
people do leave when their visas are done and shit. But
Yeah.
for the most part, man, I've known the same people since the day I got here, and it's
Well, I think
Same.
the longer you're here, the less you kind of like, because you already have an established friend group. It's not like you're hanging out with new people all the time.
It's a very good point.
You're not stuck in a hostel
right.
where you've got new roommates every 2 months. You know what I mean? Like I've known the same people here, same thing for like 10 years now. It's just
The people that stay here long term tend to
Yeah.
kind of find each other and
Yeah.
become
Yeah.
friends in that sense.
Well,
Like
even-
even though like Cricket says it all the time,
Oh,
like
Cricket,
friends
yeah.
are family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
oh,
Like
yeah.
in Banff, no one has their family here. So your friends, that's what you're doing
That's-
Thanksgiving with. That's what you're doing Christmas with.
Yeah.
You know, all those big milestones for the year.
Absolutely,
You're
man.
ripping it at a friend's
Well,
house.
because
You
like
know?
it's just that town. You can't really get away at those times because those are like peak holiday times. Like,
True.
try to get away in the middle of like summer or April or
It's almost
Yeah.
almost too much to go home during those times too, because it's just full on fam. Oh, I haven't seen you in so long. It's just
yeah.
bang, 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 bang.
Then
You got to go home at like a random time in like November. You're like,
don't
yo.
tell anybody you're
Like,
coming.
yeah, what
just
up?
see
Yeah.
who you see. Last time I went home, it was the same thing. Just like had 50 people trying to see me all at once. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the pub for an afternoon.
This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
fine.
Come and see me.
Yeah,
You know
come
what
and
I
see
mean? So how'd you get into stand-up comedy? How'd that come about? I heard you used to do some spots back in the day, and this is kind of like a comeback or a resurgence type,
Dude,
type of deal.
I owe myself a resurgence from what I used to do, bro.
Well, was it good? Was it bad? What do you mean? What
So
you used to do?
the first one I ever did was back in Windsor,
Mhm.
and it could be the worst thing I've ever done.
Big Bomb?
Oh,
Oh,
God.
dude, it was awful, but at the same time, I'm glad because it's so funny what I did. To me, I think it's hilarious.
It
so-
just didn't land.
So when I went home to do that college thing or whatever, I was here for about a year and a half, and I almost got murdered, like straight up right before I went home.
Oh
What?
shit.
We had a roommate that just fucking lost it, dude.
Oh
No
god.
way.
And I fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up. He had a chef knife up and down, rubbing me, saying he was gonna kill me, and I was like, bro, what? And
Whoa, that's wild.
and then I had another roommate.
How? Whoa.
Yeah,
How did that end?
well, he went to the loony bin.
But you got out
Jeez.
okay.
Well,
like-
I woke up. I think I was drunk or whatever. But I woke up. I was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" But I had no way out. The way our living room was, there was like an L shape. He was like, there was no way out. And my roommate comes from downstairs, rushing, grabs him by the throat, throws him out in the balcony, tunes him up a little bit, and then we go into my room. And I don't have weapons. We got like pots and pans and shit with like craft
Yeah,
dinner
yeah,
stuck
yeah.
to him. We're like, if he comes in, this is what we got. So we did call the cops, and
That's crazy.
Damn.
they came in, but the thing is, we live in an apartment, so I had to buzz them in. I had to go into the house to buzz in the cops,
Oh,
and
no.
they ended up getting them and arresting them and shit. And I used that story as my first stand-up routine.
Oh shit.
yeah.
But it didn't hit. I just told the story like I did right there. That's not a set. That's not gonna. And there's people at this open mic that were also doing stand-up, except the one guy that was in a wheelchair. He was doing sit down, but. But it was going so bad, I referred to him as legs. You know, and
shit.
dude, and I was up there, and everyone's like, "Boo!" And I was like, "Okay, I gotta go."
Oh,
it
fuck.
was, dude, it was at some greasy bar, and it like my cousins were there and shit, and they like convinced me to do it. And,
Fuck.
dude, it was I'm
Just
like it was
bombed.
so fucking bad, and I was like, I'm never going on stage ever again.
How long ago was that?
Almost 10 years ago.
Oh shit! So that's like
Damn. So this is
that's
a
how long it took you
resurgence.
to get the balls to go up there
Well,
and do it
because
again.
Bruno's used to host comedy shows.
Yeah.
There was a dude named Rafi that was living in town.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I think he was like a sound guy or something, but
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
setting
I
it
think
up.
Raph is still around.
And I see him every now and then, but I don't know if it's
Yeah.
him or not. You know, it's
It's
not like I'm not gonna say hi because I don't know.
We
But
just call him Artie Ziff.
oh yeah, yeah.
Well, he looks exactly like
He
him.
does.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
Hopefully he doesn't talk like that. But well, you know.
Yo, I'm dying. That's so
Uh,
funny.
Hey,
But-
Artie Ziff, dude. It's like party without the P.
That's so perfect. Oh boy.
No, he used to do these shows, and I would work at Bruno's for these shows, but I don't know how. Like, I didn't know how comedy shows really worked.
Right.
I had
right.
no clue.
Mm.
I did the one at the open mic, but this guy would like close all the blinds, and like you weren't allowed to talk to the comedians, and there was just the one light on in the whole bar, and
Yeah, a little
He-
different.
he's like, you can't get up and get drinks. I'm like, well, then what the fuck am I here for?
What?
I'm bartending, and nobody can stand up and get drinks. I was like, this is kind of
That seems-
whack,
Yeah,
dude.
that seems weird.
Well, I mean, I get it. Like, if you're putting on a comedy show, usually that's kind of the setup. Like, you go to like a comedy club, it's like the spotlight on the comedian. with the
Yeah.
mic,
Yeah, but
and
you-
I
like
think
you have
still, yeah.
servers that's still walking around serving drinks and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit more.
But I was just so new to it. I didn't know. And I'd always thought I was kind of funny. But at the same time, I was so embarrassed about that first thing I did. Like,
yeah,
yeah, understandable.
but then Chewy, I think Chewy, I owe everything to Chewy for what's been going on. And I think I've
Yeah.
done about maybe 10 shows now in
Oh,
town.
shit. You're finding your stride then pretty quick.
And it's getting better each time, I think.
Nice.
yeah. Well, we saw you. What it was probably like a month ago now?
Yeah.
I'd say, and your set killed, man. I, love
I
it.
thought it was good.
hilarious.
I thought
it
that was
great. I
good.
loved
You
it.
got some good presence up there. Like everything flows. The delivery's awesome, man. I think you're just like you said, getting better and better. So
And
Definitely keep it up.
that's the last one I did. What was it? Connor Christmas and this girl named Bones. They were on tour.
Oh,
and they
okay.
were going around, and I was the backup's backup. It's the one that Gene talked about that he couldn't go to. He couldn't get out of work.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, right.
And then they asked the backup, and he couldn't go. So like, Kyle, man, can you come hook it up? And I was
Oh,
like, all right. And I think that was the best set I've ever done.
There you go.
And
See, that's
I
awesome
was
though too.
stoked about it.
When you show up and you're like third pick and you show up and just fucking.
But I didn't
slay,
know it was
like,
third
that
pick
looks-
till after.
yeah, that looks good on you though, right? Like that looks awesome on you because they're just like, fuck, why didn't we call this guy first?
Well,
Like,
'cause-
Well, that's
So-
how you get the call next time.
Because it was
Yeah,
going to
I
be Gene, and then I think it was Zach.
Oh,
So then
yeah.
afterwards, I'm outside having a dart, and I saw Zach, and he was like, "Oh man, how'd it go?" I was like, "Good." He's like, "Yeah, they asked me," and I was like, "Ah, fuck." I was third in line. I was like,
Oh,
"All
that's
right,
all
all
right.
right."
Oh, that's good.
But it was a lot of fun, man. It was fucking killer.
Nice.
Those guys, I think, are pretty professional in their sense. Like they're on tour and
yeah,
for sure.
doing all that stuff.
They're doing
So it
it
was
kinda
cool to be a
full-time,
part of
yeah.
it for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, that's
Whether
awesome.
I was first choice or last, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
was a good time.
For sure, just kind of being on the same kind of set and rubbing
yeah.
shoulders with those guys, getting pointers with them,
Yeah.
watching their sets, and
Well,
kind of
that's it. Everybody
right?
that Chewy, because Gene's huge into it now. Like I think they're like splitting kind of the.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
seem to
I
both
think
be
they're-
running the show.
yeah,
But
kinda-
I think
yeah.
Chewy got the ball rolling, and then Gene got in there, because Gene's funny as shit, dude.
Big time.
Oh,
like,
Gene's hilarious,
Fuck,
dude.
and all these guys, they got
But it's all-
punchlines and jokes and
But
jokes.
it's all the old tradies because it's just literally like tradie talk or
Yeah,
like
it's the morning
kitchen
meeting.
talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the morning meeting. Like
Yeah.
hell yeah, it's just like the dumbest shit, and you're like, how is this even coming out of someone's mouth? I don't know, but it's funny.
Well,
as
that's
shit.
it, man.
Like,
Because
yeah.
you see some people that don't want to laugh because it's fucked, but you know
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
funny, and they
Oh,
know it's
yeah.
funny too. They just don't want the people around them
Yeah.
to think that they're
like when
fucked.
you get an oh,
Honestly, I
You're
feel
like-
like
yeah.
the
see
show.
that somebody found that funny. They just don't want to embarrass themselves in front of everybody else by
Yeah.
letting them know that they thought that was funny as shit.
Well, I feel like the show kind of started like that yesterday. Like there was a couple of iffy jokes, let's say, or like more sensitive topic jokes.
Oh,
And
okay,
then this
okay.
fucking dude, evil Seth Rogen, just starts bombing the room up with his laughter. And then like all of a sudden, like people went from like, oh shit, like looking around with this shit,
Yeah.
laughing to just dying.
Well, you got to be natural when you're there, man. You got like
That's it, yeah.
that's the whole fun part of it. Like if your body's telling you to laugh at this, it's probably fucking funny.
I love
Yeah.
it. I had
Yeah.
so many laughs yesterday.
Oh,
It's,
that's
it's
great.
like I'm feeling a little sore today. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you got your
It's-
you
it's
got your
the
ab
best.
workout.
For sure.
You're gonna be ripped. You got a six pack right now.
I would say so. Yeah. After snowboarding and laughing all night last night, I think I'm
He's
pretty
rocking
much
a
set.
six. That's the first sixer you've had in how long now?
I don't know. It's been pretty consistent for the last little time.
No,
so-
that's like the first six pack though. I mean, like, you know,
Oh,
like
man.
a beer. I was trying to make a beer joke, but you fucked it up.
Oh, I hit on that. I picked up on that.
See, God,
I was
damn
like,
it.
oh, I'm lost.
He's
man.
just
I'm
like,
lost.
I'm in shape.
I've been having a six
pack for a
while,
thanks,
bro.
man.
What the
bro, I
fuck?
know what you're talking about,
I didn't know. Fucking awesome.
So, Sue, who are some of your biggest influences when it comes to comedy? Who are some people that you're into? Like, what style would you say you are?
So this, I don't know if this is like controversial to comedians. I don't actually watch that much stand up.
Okay.
Like I don't want to bite, in a sense. I don't.
Fair.
I just want to do my thing, but you can't help but see it now with social media. Like, first of all,
with the
Shane
short,
Gillis
massive
is the
shorts
funniest fucking guy.
He's
I
pretty
think-
nice.
everywhere.
But
Oh,
the thing is-
every day I see like at least 3 different ones, and I'm just
And you know
like,
what? I see them and I rewatch them. Like
Same.
his shit's funny, and I don't watch SNL. I didn't even know he was on. I didn't even know that he existed. Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
but then he comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, this shit's fucking insane.
It's fire.
And it's
so
awesome.
good.
But I think the first thing I ever saw, maybe that was a bit offside on the comedian thing, was Austin Powers. Dude, straight up.
Dude, like if you go back and
Classic.
watch like Scary Movie, Austin Powers,
Scary
a lot
Movie's
of these,
insane, dude. That's the
like,
funniest movie.
You could not put this stuff out
No.
today.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's pretty.
Oh, dude, we
risky.
watched Haggard. Remember that movie that Bam Margera did?
no, dude.
Oh, it's like a full length movie, and it's like about Dunn.
I feel like anything that
Dunn's
Bam Margera
girlfriend-
touches.
Dunn's girlfriend broke up with him or something, and it's just him being a pussy, and everybody trying to like get him back in the game, and he's just being a bitch about it. And it's just like I watched it last night with a homie, and I forgot how good it was. I was dying out here laughing. It's just like that old school funny shit. Is like I don't know, kind of all grew up on the same shit back in the day.
Yeah.
right? Like
For sure. And then you couldn't laugh at about a bunch of stuff that we
Right.
used to
Yeah.
laugh about.
like especially back in high school, like we had internet, but it wasn't like
It was fucking dial-up internet.
yeah, you could like it's not like you're going on YouTube and watching like
It was
7
E-Bombs
hours.
World
Yeah.
and Newgrounds
Yeah,
and shit like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Bro.
You had to dig for that stuff, so you didn't even know like about half of this funny shit unless you like went and bought a comedy DVD.
and
or
it was
went
way
and
more
rented one.
Right.
savage too. Like when
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like 4chan Newgrounds, like that
Oh,
stuff was
that was like the
unregulated
original-
savagery.
Bro, it was horrible.
But like, I mean, like I said, I don't watch much stand-up, but I did love Russell Peters growing
Okay.
up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, Canadian boy.
Yeah.
And his shit's funny. And that's kind of where I think my style, I want to go in that way because he's a storyteller.
Kind of like storytelling, but it's funny because
Yeah.
it's true kind of thing.
Well,
you
that's
know what I mean?
I know nobody is going to go up there and do what I have written down
For sure.
because it all happened to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the last one I did, priest trying to see my dick. That happened. like, you know what I mean? Like, I know for
I'm
a
sorry
fact,
to laugh, but that's fucked.
dude, that could have happened to somebody else, but the story that I told, nobody else has it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of trippy.
well, that kind of ties into like one of our questions is how do you
Yeah.
come up with your material?
Dude, it's-
just from experience.
It's definitely all my experiences, but I need to make them relevant enough for the room to relate
for sure.
in a way.
Right.
But it is all personal stuff. But also, I'll be driving around at work or whatever, and I got notes on my phone. And
yeah.
if I think something's funny, right, I'll just write it down. And it's not in a set or anything. And then when I go to put something together, I look at my notes. I'm like, hey, how do I start with this, go through it all, and then tie that first bit back into the end,
Yeah, yeah.
and
yeah.
come back all together. And
the callback, the full circle.
and
Yeah.
I got a buddy back home, Paul Boots, the homie, like the tightest fucking homie,
the tightest.
Nice.
dude.
Big shout out to Paul Boots.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Let's
Paul
go.
Boots is the man. And he's huge into comedy. Like Adam Sandler, like that's his jam. I love
Yeah,
Adam
yeah,
Sandler
yeah.
too.
Oh,
time.
God,
But he's the first one I send all my videos to, all my clips,
nice.
and I get his feedback on it because he's a genuine lover
Like
of the
buff.
comedy.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, oh man, I like how it ties back in every now and then. Or he'll be like, you know, that wasn't the best set. Maybe it could have went here. I'm like, dude, if I ever go anywhere, you're my ghostwriter. Straight up.
There you go.
Like
Sick.
Boots is
There
coming
you go.
with me, bro.
There you go.
Nice.
He's gonna
It's always
pack up
sick
his
to have-
wife and his kid, and we're going, man.
Well, it's like the same thing in a band too. Like you'll come up with a riff, you might think it's really fucking cool, and then you show it to somebody else, and they're like, "eh."
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll show it to another couple buddies, and they're like, "Meh." And you're like,
For
"Okay,
sure.
maybe I can work
Yeah.
that some other way to make it better." And then
I think like a
it's-
true sign of like professionalism in telling jokes is the callback and bringing it up,
oh, for
like
sure, yeah,
starting with something that's like kind of like a mad joke, and then at the end bringing it back up, and it's like a
Yeah.
banger that ties into
Yeah,
another
I
one.
love
Like
that.
that's like the ultimate.
I love it. I
like,
love that. That's like the
stamp,
like the
you know?
classic
'Cause
kind of old
I
school
haven't
style, right?
I haven't redone any sets. Every time I do one, it's something new.
That's
Cool.
sick.
And I think I could be better had I taken one that was okay
Worked on it a
and
bit.
worked on it.
hmm
But I got so much fucking ADHD, man. I'm just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
funny. This is
Well,
funny.
honestly,
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool way to do it. Like, and some people are like comedy nerds in the sense that they're going over old comedy, and again, like trying not biting, but being influenced in certain
Yeah.
ways and whatever. It's cool that you're kind of just like, no, I just like to do my stuff. I know what's funny.
Yeah, and I'm
And like following your gut with it is pretty cool.
because it is funny to me, but that again, that might
Yeah.
not be funny to you or
Dude,
you.
Yeah,
You've
exactly.
always been a funny guy, man. Like,
And I think it's kind of situational too. If I'm driving down the street in the truck or something, and dude, somebody who doesn't even know they're getting it is getting it bad. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of rude, but like they don't know. I mean,
No, that's kind of part of the fun. Like I feel like
You guys like
I don't know if it's like an
practice, right?
Ontario
Yeah,
It's like free
yeah.
practice. You're just like,
But
I'm
like-
about to write somebody off in the front row tonight, so here it is. This is what you're getting. But
Yeah.
yeah. That's
but
great.
that's just kind of like what we used to do in high school. Just like ride around roasting each other and like people on the street, like, oh, fuck, idiot wearing a hat, like
Yeah, nice hat, pussy, shit like that. Yeah,
do a kickflip.
yeah,
Do a kickflip.
Oh, that was the best one. Yeah.
Oh fuck! It's so annoying. It's like do a kickflip. It's like
You know what?
you do a kickflip.
I said
Get the
that
fuck out
last
of the car,
week.
Do a kickflip.
That one didn't get old. I said it last week. Like,
It's because you don't skate.
dude, not
If you skated-
anymore.
if you skated
Not anymore,
anywhere,
man.
you'd be like, fuck.
Skating
Like, two
days
of
are
them a day.
behind you.
My skating days are. I mean, to and from transportation wise, I'm all into it.
Oh yeah.
But as far as like now the skate park, I mean, when I first got here, there was just a mini ramp, like a wooden
Yeah,
mini
yeah.
ramp,
Oh right, yeah. The old
and all the
park,
French
yeah.
kids like slept underneath it in the
Yeah.
park. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we used to go there, and there was a street spot, like they had
Oh,
rails
like
and
a
shit
couple tiny. Yeah.
in the parking lot that's there now. They're just rails set up and stuff.
Nice.
A little bit of that, but as far as like actually being good at skating,
No.
nah.
Yeah.
I was
I
the
can't do
same.
it
I was
anymore.
like, I don't think I had the frame for it, honestly.
See, all my
Like,
buddies
big
were so
dudes.
fucking good.
I'm too old now. Like I go to the park and I can throw down, but like I just don't want to get that hurt at all.
Yeah,
at this
concrete
age.
hurts, man. I'm
It
sticking
was
to
like
the
way
snow,
worse
dude.
than when I was 16. Like I fucking slammed, just like eat it on the top of a stair set and just like launch, just
And then you're like, all right, try it
smash.
again.
You're get back up, grab your board, run full tilt up the stairs. You're like, I got this. Chuck it, throw it down again. Same thing. Just fucking die on the
Yeah.
landing or something. Yeah, it's,
Dudes that skate into their 30s and 40s, it's like you got to
Like-
tip your hat.
Well,
to
you
those
should have
guys.
Mark
It's like-
Carroll, dude. Mark Carroll fucking throws
Oh,
down
he
hard.
ripped. Yeah,
Nuts,
it's
yeah.
true. He's still ripping these days.
There's lots. There's still actually even at the ramp, man. There's some boys there that absolutely slay. I'm like, dude, I would kill myself. If I,
I
was
feel
doing
like
any
it
of
would
that.
be cool to sit there for the entire day, like get there real early, because you'd see a whole like variety
Dude,
of skaters and bands. Like,
I'm-
I'm sure the early
There's
morning is
some
like the old
really
raw
good-
dogs. And
Dude,
then,
you,
like,
you got it
really good.
exactly pinned. I'm
Yeah,
down
yeah.
there again. I start work at 6. We're down there at the pavilion cutting grass or changing garbages, whatever it is. And it's the old boys that show up first when there's nobody
For
there.
Yeah.
sure,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
And you know what? Helmets, knee pads, they're ready because
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they realize they're
Yeah.
not 16 anymore. But then they go and they throw down, and then one kid shows up with a scooter. They're like, "All right, peace," and
Yeah.
then they're out
That's
there.
so sick.
Yeah,
I'm the
Yeah.
same way. Like I'll go to the park for like an hour or two, and I'm like, I got some tricks in, man. I'm tired. I'm good. I don't need to skate for 9 hours in a row anymore. Like I got nothing to prove to my homies at all whatsoever. Like they don't care if I can do a hard flip back tail any more than I do. So like, you know what I mean? It's
That's so dope. Can you actually do that?
no.
I was like, that's so dope.
Well, I think that's pretty cool about Banff too. It's like anyone can skate in Banff. Like it kind of fits. You see, like
Everybody's
you know,
cool with helping other people out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of a cool thing. So if you're thinking about getting to skate and go down to the park, and once the snow clears up, and yeah.
Well,
have
speaking
yourself
of
some
having
fun down
crowds
there.
at the park, ever been heckled at the park or I guess
Oh.
at a comedy
Dude,
show?
kickflip,
Man.
bro.
Do a kickflip on stage.
As far as being heckled, man, not that I can think of. I mean, that last show at the brew pub, there was a dude in there and he was getting liquored up, man, and he was funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like, dude, shut the fuck up. He punchlined my punchline without even knowing what I was gonna say.
Oh,
And
that's
I was
Oh,
so-
fuck! He snaked you on the
Dude,
punchline.
I was comparing a like confession booth like at a Catholic church to a glory hole. And as I was getting there, he's like, glory hole. And I was like, fuck. Like,
God damn it.
and then I went up to him after. I'm like, you're having the time of your life, eh? And he was like, what? And he had like a tray of like
Oh.
7 shots. I was like,
Oh, he was on it.
You suck.
And you know what? He was funny, and he wasn't like a mean heckler or whatever.
But still, that ruined your shit. That
Like,
ruined
I
your
was like,
shit.
bro,
Yeah.
I was like, glory holes are hilarious. I was like,
Okay.
what the fuck?
I was at the comedy show last night, and even like people were walking around during the show, and even that was enough to throw me off listening to the joke. I
Yeah.
could only imagine being up there trying to tell a joke,
Mhm.
and you just have people walking around the room was enough to like, man, I wish these guys would just sit the fuck down.
Well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
that's what's cool about the brew pub. There is, it seems like everybody who's there knows they're there for a comedy show,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they're into it. They've been to them before. It looks like they know how to act. There's a couple like older people in there and shit that like at that show I think was like $20 each to get in. Like they were fucking
Oh,
That's
there,
sick.
doors open, first one's there, pick out their seats. Like it was nobody's walking around for the most part, which is good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go check one out at the lodge because
Dude.
that kind of threw me off a little
yeah. It
bit.
looked like there was quite a few people. The photo that I saw there a couple of photos from the last show.
Yeah,
like,
the one you sent me
it
was
looks
dope.
stacked.
man.
Yeah.
It was a packed house there.
It was good. And what wasn't in that photo I sent was the other side where the photo was taken from. That side was all full too, and those people were having a good time. Like it was just that whole night was great. Every time at the brew pub is really good.
So keep your ears out on the streets if you're in Banff, Canmore, even come down from Canmore. They got comics coming in from Calgary. They got comics
Oh God, yeah.
that have headlined for super big names. So get out there to one of the local comedy shows. It is super awesome.
Straight
down
up.
there.
Yeah.
Any favorite venue to play at?
I really liked the Beaver Bar, dude.
Beaver Bar, sick.
So that was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first one I ever did. That's where Chewy started it all, was the Beaver.
yeah. Mhm.
Right.
And that first night of that show, I was fucking nervous. My knees were shaking the whole time. Like,
The whole set?
oh
It
yeah,
just never went away.
yeah. My good thing my pants were baggy, bro. Nobody saw, but it was it's not a big place, right? So you get 30 people in there. It's fucking brimmed out.
Pretty intimate, tiny little
But
venue, right?
everybody was in the hallway. The entire foyer was packed. Like it was fucking
Sick.
cool, man.
Oh, sweet.
And we did a few there, and then I don't think we were allowed to anymore.
Yeah, he was saying something about like the hosteling company getting in trouble for some comedy shows they hosted like in California or something like that.
Oh.
So the hosteling association
They just
decided to
said no to
not
it.
do any
Because that's
more
a
comedy
chain.
shows.
The Samsung's a chain, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's kind of the way he explained it to me, I think. Don't like, I don't know, this is
That
fact or
sounds
not,
right.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So they just kind of were like, hey, instead of dealing with backlash of people, like you're,
makes
you're,
sense.
you're giving these people a platform.
It was probably,
you know, like-
just like a corporate decision, right? And then
Just to
like,
shut it down.
Yeah, like add
Yeah.
all of them just so they don't have issues.
To
I
save-
understand. It's
yeah.
yeah.
But that place was cool because everywhere we've been except for the Den and Meadow that actually had like an actual stage.
Yeah.
We make our stage. You know, you put the mic up there, we set up the area,
Yeah.
we sort the room, but the Den and Meadow was also cool because it's a showroom.
For sure.
You know
It's
what I mean?
meant to have shows.
And we did that one for Movember, like a fundraiser. That was another fun night for sure. And Hoops was a GM, and he was hooking up the comedians. You know, we
Nice.
got a little discount on our drinks, and
Nice.
sure
always
enough,
nice.
I had quite a few.
Sure enough.
Like, and the thing is, all these comedy shows have been on work nights. So like,
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna go do my set, and I'm going home, and then I'm the last fucking guy there.
Dude,
And I'm like,
it's-
I gotta work at 4 hours.
It's the
Like,
same
fuck.
thing in a band, dude. You get
Yeah.
there and like if you're anywhere near the end of the set, you're just like, oh no, I gotta work tomorrow. We don't go on till 12. So
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the adrenaline's pumping. You just got
Well,
off. Everyone's
yeah.
congratulating. Hey, man,
yeah, and then you have a few
sick,
beers,
you
and
know?
then by the time you know it, after you load gear out, it's like 3-4 in the morning. You've had 10 beers, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I got to work in 4 hours.
And then I gotta come back tomorrow and
This
get my
sucks.
fucking car because I drove here because I told myself I wasn't drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, done that. Yeah, done the old walk of shame, eh?
Fuck, so
Big
many,
time.
so
Back
many
to the
times,
car.
man.
So we pulled up a couple of posts from
Oh,
yours from
God,
the candy
yeah.
store days. I did a little bit of digging on your page. I figured it'd be kind of fun because this
Dude, I
is
got in
kinda
trouble
what-
for that.
Did you for real?
Kind of. Eventually, it got too big, and Tommy was like, "Bro, stop fucking posting about the store." And I was like, "They don't know." And he's like, "People know."
Well,
People
it's not
know.
it's not necessarily like about the store.
No.
No, it's about the people.
Yeah, these are more just these are general customers in Banff. Regardless of where you were, you could be at the popcorn shop,
I think
shop
it-
next door. You could be at our restaurant
Yeah.
that we work at. You could be at the brew
We have
house.
fucking
You could-
Walmart. They're all the same.
We've
Yeah,
all
yeah,
encountered
dude, yeah.
this in customer
Oh, it's
service.
insane.
But dude,
once or another.
I had a good steady like 4-year run of just like absolutely destroying customers.
It was sick. It was
Like,
so
we,
nice.
we got
man.
some choice ones.
Yeah?
Let's cut
Let's
to
see
the
what we
first one
got.
here. Let's see what we got. These are great.
All right, so this first one. All right, so this first one goes. Whoa, wait, hey, you're not charging me 5 cents for that bag, are you?
No, man. Super free, but that 5 cents would have been a deal breaker, eh?
Yeah, totally.
Fucking $70 on candy, you idiot. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, bags are free as fuck.
So this is posed basically for those that are just listening in. Some dude's about to spend $68 on freaking candy, and the 5 cent bag's gonna be the deal breaker.
Oh, dude,
Like,
they were giving me shit. Dude, I caught
Oh,
so
yeah.
much shit in there, and I'm like, you when you walked in the door, you spent $80. I know you did.
for sure.
Oh,
On
yeah, big
fucking
time.
Kit Kats that you can get at the corner store for $2. Kit Kats are fire, though. Shout out Kit Kats.
Oh, dude, one of the best. Kit Kat, Coffee Crisp.
Yeah.
Two best chocolate bars.
I wish
underrated.
Coffee Crisp was thinner, like a Kit Kat,
Yeah.
because it's too chunky.
I
It gives
know,
me
yeah.
Captain Crunch mouth, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, like you bite a chunk off, and then it's just like you have like this cube that like is just a cube of like fucking solid wafer in your mouth. And you're
Yeah.
like, how do I chew this without ripping my mouth apart? You're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Coffee crisp is like
the
reminds me of my
classic Halloween.
like my grandma would
They're
always
so
have a
good, though.
coffee
They're
crisp
so
at the house
good.
for some reason. It's
Even when I
such
was a kid, I
random
liked it.
thought.
I didn't even like coffee. I was just like, fuck, that's good.
It's like
fire.
what gets you into
I don't drink coffee. I
a
love
gateway.
the
Really?
smell. I love the taste, but the caffeine makes impending doom. I'm fucking scared after I have a coffee.
Really?
Dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
can't do it.
Well, we'll move on to another one here.
On to the next one.
So you don't die on the coffee.
Oh fuck, this was a good one.
Do you want to take us through this one?
Oh, bro, this is funny.
There you go.
The store always closed at 9, and this guy goes, "Why are you closed? The sign says 9." First of all, we never had an open or closed sign. We just locked the door, right? And okay, well, we don't have a sign, and it is 9. I'm calling the manager in the morning. First of all, I'm the one getting that phone call. Okay, I'm like, okay, right, whatever. Like, we've been open for 12 hours. If you're not there in those 12 hours, that's your own fault. I didn't ruin your night.
You've had ample time to buy your candy, sir.
Yeah.
It's been open for
And a lot
12
of them were
hours.
coming from Grizzly House. You can smell them walking in the door.
Ooh,
They
there
come
you
in
go.
with their snake shirts and like all the food they ate. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
how was Grizzly House tonight? They're like, what did you see us? I'm like, no, I can smell
Same
it.
thing at the liquor,
I
same
can
thing at
smell
the
it.
liquor store when I worked there too. People would come in. I'm like, "How was the Grizz?" They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Smell it from here." They're
Yeah.
like, "Really?" I'm like, "Big time."
And you know what? It doesn't smell bad.
No, you,
But
you just smell like
I just
garlic
know
butter.
where you had dinner.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
distinct
everybody-
like
yeah,
smell.
we just know. Oh God! All right, what else we got in here? This one's great.
I love this.
All right, I got this one. It could be raining human bodies, and people still going to stand in it for an hour to buy some Laffy Taffy.
Dude, there could be a tornado down the center of Banff Avenue and people are like, I need candy.
During
It
the
wouldn't,
pandemic,
dude,
it was
it wouldn't
insane.
stop. It
Dude,
wouldn't stop.
It's like in the middle. It's like fucking Christmas at Scoops. It's like
Yeah.
It's minus 30.
Lined
There
up.
is like 50 people lined up at Scoops, just out there all like dying, shaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to go in and warm up and get some ice cream? Are you
It's
fucking high?
crazy,
What is
man.
going on? Yeah, I
Dude.
don't get it.
And we used to sell ice cream and people that were standing in line there used to come into the candy store.
God. Oh, that's right.
And I used to love it, man. I'd be flipping cones all day. I loved it.
Oh,
Because I
that's
didn't have to
rough.
be at the register. I didn't have to do anything but ice cream.
Fair.
But we also had a lot of famous people go through there, man. I don't know if I told you that.
No.
Me and Paul Rudd had a fucking powwow.
What? Paul Rudd's your boy?
That we're homies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out Paul Rudd.
Me and Paul
What
Rudd
is
are
up?
tight. I know he's listening.
Nice.
Yeah, I sent him the link, dude. Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Damn, that would have been sick, dude.
That would have been sick. For sure.
No, just to touch on that of it, he was filming Ghostbusters in Calgary
Okay.
and he had a day off or whatever and he came to Banff. He'd never been. And after I met him, I looked into him a bit. He owns a candy store and he's from England,
No
right?
way.
Or his parents are from England or something.
They got all that exotic candy.
So
over
he
there.
bought a bunch of English shit. But also when I saw him, I was walking by and I was like, fuck, is that Paul Rudd? And he turns around. He's got an Ant-Man Pez in his hand, Pez dispenser.
Oh,
And he's like,
Get the
dude,
fuck
I
outta
was
here.
like, no way, can I shake your hand? He's like, yeah, bro, whatever. So I went around, shook his hand, and we
dude,
were
that's
just
sick.
shooting the shit, and nobody recognized him. He went through the entire store, and it was fucking wall to wall. Everyone was like, excuse me. He's like, all right, my bad. And he just like kept moving out of the way and shit. Nobody knew who he
Sick.
was.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. I had one like that. I met the guitarist from Killswitch Engage, Adam D.
Okay.
He came into the fucking liquor store the one day to like buy some IPAs and like it's like, hey man, where are your IPAs and shit? I'm like, oh, just like most of the craft stuff's in the fridge there. So he walks in. I'm like, that fucking Adam D. There's no way it's not. Walks out, I like helped him pick out a bunch of beers, get up to the till, we're shooting the shit. I'm like, what do you do for work, man? He's like, I'm a musician. I was like, you're Adam D from Killswitch, huh? He's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh,
I'm like,
sick.
sorry to be a nerd, but can I get a picture? He's like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
He was like
That's
super cool.
awesome.
He came back in a couple hours later, got some more, but Banff's good for that, man. Like,
People
got a
come
pretty
through
funny
here,
one.
man.
people come through.
So-
people come through.
Carrot Top was in town.
No.
This
Oh,
is a
wow.
this is a story that involves a friend of mine, Stacy. She used to work kitchens in town.
I know Stacy.
You would know. You
Yeah.
probably know her too.
Stacey
Anyways.
Carey?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
She used to live here.
yeah, absolutely. So we get into it here. So Carrot Top comes in.
Like here in my apartment.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. We used to be roommates.
Hilarious.
Yeah, she had a room that I'm in right now.
Okay, so this involved her, right? So Carrot Top comes in to the place I was working at the time, and I serve him some lunch, whatever. Cool guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm going up to Sunshine tomorrow. Like, if you see me up there, like, show me some spots." Like, actually, honestly, super nice guy, jacked as hell.
Oh, this was
like,
during his jack
crazy.
phase. Yeah, okay,
he was
okay.
like super nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was sober. I forget if I served him a drink or not. I might have served him a drink. Anyways,
Did he
doesn't
do
matter.
mad cocaine?
Okay,
Yeah,
this,
I was
get
gonna
into
say.
it. So Stacy goes and posts on her Facebook or something. She was cooking at one of the hotels, and she's like, just cooked for Carrot Top. Like, had the pleasure. Like, a very, very nice post.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it was super cool. Someone goes like comments like, how'd you prepare the cocaine or something like that? And it was like, it was
Oh
wild.
god, that's great.
So I didn't know that this had transpired, right? Back in the day, I was still partying. So I walk into the pump and tap and they're all talking about Carrot Top. And I was just like, kind of chimed in. I was like, oh yeah, like I served him, but I didn't post about it because I'm a professional. Turns out she was telling the story that I guess some of Carrot Top's people had found this comment and had reported her to the hotel that she was working at. And she was telling the
No.
story how she got fired because of it. So I felt like
That's
such an asshole. I
awesome.
put my foot right in it.
That's actually fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was so bad.
So she made a post and got fired.
yeah,
basically.
she made it. Well, not even from her comment, from
Oh, it was
someone
just-
else's
So
comment.
how the fuck is that her fault? She made a super nice post.
Well,
about it.
supposedly you're not supposed to post. That's the
Oh.
thing.
Yeah.
But,
That's why I worked
yeah,
at the
big
candy
shout out
store.
to Stacy. Sorry about that. That was
Oh,
fucked.
God, that's fucking awesome.
That's crazy. I remember Carrot Top was in town. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, big shout out to Carrot Top. He's
Yeah, way
actually
to get
very,
my friend fired.
Yo, sorry, dude. Big shout out to Carrot Top. They're actually
Just
very
kidding.
cool
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Please don't take any legal action.
All right, well, let's move it on here. All right, what do we got here, Kyle?
What does this say? man?
So-
Oh fuck, dude. That is the busiest place on planet Earth, okay? I know everybody in town works places and it's always busy. There's always
Oh,
people
yeah,
around.
yeah.
This fucking store breaks my mind.
So
Okay.
this one reads for everyone listening. This one reads, "Hey man, why are you so busy? Does it ever slow down?"
It's like, yeah, man, there's 1 week in November that's pretty chill.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I made this, what is it, 2021?
Yeah, that doesn't even
Now
happen
2024, it's not chill ever.
It's insane.
Like it just doesn't stop, and everyone's like, "Well, that's people are there." I'm like, "Dude, it's the day after Halloween. What the fuck are you doing here?
Seriously,
You just
dude.
got everything for free. Why are you in here buying the same shit?"
Yo, good point.
Good point.
And because I would always go in, I'd be like, "Oh, it's gonna be chill." And no, it was never chill ever.
Slowest day
Like-
at the liquor store, day after St. Patty's Day. Nobody goes town.
Fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
see,
But
that
you'd
makes
think
sense.
That would
Yeah.
be the same effect at a candy store. You'd think.
Dude,
And I
think
don't want to.
with
I'm not a
Halloween.
parent. I don't have kids, but like. My kid goes out and gets a bunch of free candy. I'm not feeding him fucking candy for the next day on vacation. There's no way.
Well, speaking of kids, can you explain this?
Oh my
What
god.
the hell happened
Okay,
Read
here?
this
so
one out for
you-
us
you
for all
guys-
the people at home.
Okay, so this one reads here. There's a time and place to teach your kid how to count money. When there's 800 people waiting outside and wall to wall people inside, it's the wrong time, and it absolutely is.
I
Guess
mean,
what? You're
he's
getting
a-
your kid to pay with the change they stole out of a fountain. It's all wet and shit. It's all nickels. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I can't do it, man.
It's all wet, just a handful of
Dude,
wet.
I've
nickels.
gotten bags of wet nickels and coins and shit. I'm like, where'd you take this from? What hospital were you at? Like,
Did you
what?
find this in a bog
like,
somewhere?
what the fuck are you
So,
doing?
like, we went to the wishing well. There was all these coins. We just took.
It was
them.
all this free money. What's going
It's just
on?
laying there on the
man.
ground. I don't know. I guess I don't know what happened. Like, oh, for Christ's sake! All right, well, banging on. What do we got next here?
Oh,
I like
Oh,
this.
Dude.
This is one of my
Can I read
favorites.
this one for you?
yeah,
there you go.
absolutely.
This one reads, "A very medium-heighted man asked me if my store has a tall man's discount. Like that would ever be a real thing. I told him that discount was yesterday, but we have a medium height discount, which he qualified for. He did not want it."
Dude, this guy was 100% with the girl above his pay grade, trying to be impressive. And like, I'm not a tall guy, but like, I don't know why you need to like try and get all tall and shit around me. Like,
Oh, you
dude,
think he's trying to like assert himself in front of his date
yeah,
audience?
he's like,
okay.
I'm tall. It's like you're not actually that tall. And you know what? You missed that discount, bro. But I'll give you the medium height man one. And he's like, no.
That's so good.
Like,
He didn't even want. Like, you could have got a discount.
dude, I used to talk shit to these people's faces, and they wouldn't even know.
Amazing.
Like it was awesome.
Well,
That's the
yeah,
only
I
good
mean-
part about that
I
fucking
mean, yeah,
store.
you can
man.
like sometimes you can just trip customers a little bit. You know, like you got like sometimes it's just like
a little abrasiveness goes
yeah,
a
it's
long
like it's
way.
right there.
I could never go back into customer service, man. Like
Ah.
making money bartending was obviously sick. I just can't do it. Now that I don't do it, I'm like, this is so much better. Like I'd rather be a little bit poor than fucking hate my life.
You can choose who you interact with on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah.
Not having to interact with a bunch of random
I'm
people.
sweeping rocks. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm busy.
Like, this
Peace.
is sick.
Well, you wouldn't have anything to say like this the next post because this is fucking absolute.
What do we got?
Speaking of can't go back to it, so it reads here at the top. It's a post by Kyle. It's a post of a memory from 5 years ago, but it says can't go, won't go back into customer service, which keeps us right on topic. Then the memory here is, sorry, sir, couldn't hear you over your shit breath.
Dude, oh, fuck these.
That was so good.
'Cause
That came
people-
up like a couple days ago.
Yeah, because I saw that. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious, man.
So good.
You can't like if you're talking to me and I'm face to face with you and you stink, I'm not hearing a word you say. I'm trying not to vomit. I can't fucking do it.
You're just like, give me your money. Give me
That's
your money
why I
and
was
get
so
out
bad
of
at hockey. My hockey coach had shit breath, and I just fucking couldn't pay attention to what he was telling me.
That, bro.
You got to go in the corner.
You gotta get
Oh,
out of
God.
here, dude.
Fuck. Well, we got one here. It looks like this is maybe the last post from the candy shop days ever here.
Oh, when I dipped out.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. 189 likes, man. That's so sick.
That's crazy. So yeah, read us this one for all the people listening.
So yeah, this was just May 13th last year. Yeah, man. Today was my last full shift at the Banff Candy Store. I almost made it to the 10-year mark. Because August would have been 10 years.
Jeez.
I got an opportunity to join the town of Banff, and I chose to jump at it. Excited to see what the new job brings. But don't come looking for me to scoop you blue whales. Never again. Guess what, man? Blue whales are fire, but I've never again.
Blue whales, I was going to say, they're so far.
Pretty sick.
And I don't want anybody to hate me for working for the town of Banff, man. It's I'm out there doing God's work.
Why would
Yeah,
anyone
no doubt.
hate you for working for the town of Banff?
Yeah.
Dude, I just blew so much dust on everybody's shit yesterday.
Oh,
Like,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Somebody
Well,
stopped.
I was sitting here and I looked out and I'm like,
Yeah.
Necessary
fuck?
evil,
I was
man.
like, oh, they're sweeping the streets. I knew it instantly.
And that's
It's like,
and it happens this
Yeah.
time of year, sure, but like it somebody actually stopped and pulled over like, "Hey, it's pretty dusty." I was like, "All right.
What do you mean?
All right, have a good
well,
one."
I know.
Like, what
I
the
know.
fuck you want me to
I
do?
know it's dusty. I'm the one.
I'm
doing
fucking
this.
standing in it. I'm breathing it in. It's awful. I get it. But you got to do what you got to do, man.
So speaking of town of Banff stuff, what is your thoughts on the Banff Ave closure?
Don't get yourself fired.
Never. My thoughts
Do you
are
like it?
extremely selfish.
Okay.
I don't mind it at all. I understand. I'm pretty sure the reason the petition, because I know emergency services and anybody that needs to cross that bridge
Right.
in any sort of capacity of time is not going to fucking do it.
It takes a while.
That's true. Yeah.
So I used to live on Cave Avenue for like 7 years,
Mhm.
and not that entire time they had the closure, but when they did, I wouldn't even bother getting in my car. My car sat there for like 3 years. I didn't even fucking use it
Fair.
because you can't
Yeah.
get there.
Not reliably over. Like if you take off into your car, you might be, and then you can't. Like it's not like you can just turn around. Like you're kind of stuck once
And
you're in
with
it, right?
The emergency services thing, which I never even thought of,
Mhm.
is massive. If I'm out there and I'm croaking out and I need to call somebody, and there's 400 people that saw all parking lots are full, take public transit, and they just thought it didn't apply to them,
For sure.
and they decided to go there
Yeah.
anyways.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, fair
absolutely.
point.
They're
Fair
not going to
point.
get through because there's nowhere for them even to pull over.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% for it being open, but if it isn't, it's not going to affect me personally. That's why I think it's, my opinion, selfish.
Whatever.
'cause I
you're
will
allowed.
not be
It's your
affected.
opinion, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of the main concern is just people's emergency services availability up there. Like, and then what are you going to do? You're going to hop in your car and rip down the ambulance because the ambulance can't get up there? No,
'Cause you
you're gonna
can't
be in
cross the bridge.
Exact same lineup
Yeah.
of cars, anyways.
And the-
Personally, I don't foresee anything happening unless they get a second bridge that can allow vehicle traffic on it. Because you need to keep people moving in a circular motion, right? You can't just
Yeah,
have
it's
them
just
going to
one
stop and back.
bottle-
And every single
it's just a bottleneck,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
there's
Like
all
every
that-
single attraction, you're
Yeah.
going out and back. You're not
Yeah.
going in a circular
And it-
motion. So
it's-
there's got to be something there.
It gums up all the residential streets too. So
Big time.
we used to have to play baseball in Canmore, and when I lived across the bridge, I would get a ride, and I would have to get out at Wolf Street because from Wolf on Beaver, Muskrat, Otter, they're
Right.
all lined up trying to turn on the
Right.
Buffalo
Yeah.
because they're all trying to get across the bridge. So all the streets are now fucked up. It's not just the bridge itself,
Or not just Banff Ave that's backed up. It's spilling in.
and then Link
Yeah.
Street, and like
Oh, yeah,
it's-
that was pretty.
it's
pretty
like
big
you
nightmare
just
last
can't
year.
do anything, and nobody parks in the Lyricon lot for some reason. It's massive. It's right when you get into town.
I
And
touched on it yesterday. I had some crazy people on the corner in front of my house standing in a parking spot, which you should never do. When there
Dan
was
was
100,
cheesed.
when there was
Dan
100
was-
spots open, in
Dan
the
was
Lyricon
cheesed
lot.
about
I was
that.
like,
He's
you guys
like,
are
"Get
so
well, that's
dumb.
it. The Lyricon lot is right there, man, and It's
never
there
full.
for that
I've
reason.
never seen it full.
No,
I've seen it full in the summer. In the summer,
Yeah?
it's full most days. That's how I know whether work's going to be either like pretty chill or like pretty
you
not
get the
chill.
forecast.
It's like,
He checks his.
if it's full, it's
Yeah, he
it's
just
like,
checks the forecast on
if
the way
you're
down.
full and you're on the patio, it's going to be
Hey, parking
it's
lot.
going to be a wild ride.
What's
baby.
the weather today?
Yeah, basically.
Today, the
Yeah,
weather
yeah.
will be mods
And
with a
that's-
side of mods.
it's totally true. That's how you know, man.
Mhm.
Crossing that bridge when I lived on Cave, same thing. If I can't walk down the sidewalk comfortably, I'm gonna have a terrible day.
Fair.
I lived up there as well. Like I lived up on Middle Springs for a few years, and it was the same thing. I just walked in the summer and just took the gardens down because it was way quicker to walk down through the gardens. And
Do you ever get lost in there?
No.
I've done
It's
that.
pretty spooky at night, man.
I've gotten lost in there.
I
I
mean,
couldn't find the exit.
yeah, I mean, it gets real dark out there, but I kind of scoped it out a few times. Like I kind of knew my way.
You had your
but,
way?
I feel like
had
there
my
was a bear
bearings.
spotted up there recently, but we'll touch on some bear stuff later.
Yeah.
I think there was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows anymore?
Moving on, we are kind of on that topic, but we do have a little post that we found this week, very on topic. So let's pull that up.
How about Lyricon?
Oh, here we go.
So big news. I'm touching back on our 4th episode that we did with Bunny Julius. Big shout out. The post reads, it's a post from Overheard in Banff. It reads, this just in, if this goes to a public vote, which I hope it does, then get out and vote, even if you are only a resident for a short time. Now the post is a Town of Banff post that reads, Banff's town manager has declared a petition to overturn Banff Town Council's decision to have an annual pedestrian zone as valid.
So it looks like whatever Bunny was trying to get through there and everybody else went.
Yes.
So it's going to a vote.
So there was about 30 different organizers around town, Bunny being one of them, organized this petition just to bring it to a vote, like they said. Now, this has a link on it, which brought up a really cool article. I dug a little deeper into this one.
Nice.
Basically, the petition has been declared valid. So I guess May 13th at that town council meeting, they will be reading the petition and what it's trying to do. They will have what's called the first reading. Now, after the first reading, there's 2 options for the town of Banff. They can either take back their decision to have an annual pedestrian zone outright, or they can choose to pass it to a vote within 90 days.
And that's because that would get you through most of summer,
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking.
but it
So
would miss out
either
on the
way-
long weekend at the end of the summer.
Yeah, it would miss out on the last long weekend if the vote goes against it, right? Like it's not a sure thing that
okay.
the vote's going to go against it. So from what I've gathered from the town of Banff, it is going to proceed with the closure and it is going to proceed with patios. That's the current word that I've got until this all kind of plays out. But hey, at least it's cool that they successfully got the petition granted. It's very cool that the
Yeah, at
town
least
of
it's going
Banff
to a vote.
is giving it legitimacy and declaring it valid. I think just seeing
Yeah.
this whole judicial process play out, I've never seen anything like it since I've lived here.
No.
I think the road closure that first year it happened to open up space for all
Right,
the
right.
people. Now I don't think you can really go back because you already can't walk on the street because there's so many fucking people. Imagine now they're on that 6-foot sidewalk or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to move, man.
I think that there's other green spaces that they've made for people to be at that
Right.
isn't Banff Ave. Like,
Well, look,
they've
Bear
made-
Street now is crazy. I don't think there should be cars allowed on Bear Street straight up. It's not built for that.
for sure.
If there's two, it's
every
single
day,
lane.
like,
I
It's
would
single
agree with you
lane.
there.
even
It's
even
insane.
riding my bike through there, I'm just like, dude, like today there was like a family eating. It was like kind of down by the hardware store there at a picnic table, and they're like, there's cars going down. Their kid just fucking runs right out
Yeah.
across because obviously it's not it doesn't look like a street. They've been walking in the middle of the thing the whole time. Like car slams on its brakes. I'm like, boys, it's still a road, man.
And
Like
that's-
it's still a road. Like people are just treating it
And
like
it says no RVs, and everybody with an RV is like, oh, that
Yeah.
ain't that's
Yeah,
not for
who
me.
cares,
that
man?
ain't for me,
Oh,
man.
oh, dude, I know. It's like
So
just,
I don't know. Like,
I like the idea of having people to be able to walk all over the road, but now that space is even gone because it's all patios.
right.
Like
Yeah,
you
now-
didn't really
now you're-
open
now
anything
You're
up.
only down to one lane anyways where you're walking around. It's like
Yeah.
my main issue and the issue that I think stands supreme in my eyes is the Land Use Act, which was declared that there is no more development for commercial use of the land of the town of Banff.
Which I
That's
love.
written
Right.
into the charter. It's there for a reason. Like, I can understand being the one to overturn that, would come with some political recognition for sure.
There'd be
I-
problems with that. You overturn that.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think that's a slippery slope if that gets overturned. Then, what's stopping commercial development in other areas, such as where they just, open the sign at the entrance of town, or
Right.
places where
That's
they're
supposed to
really
get
shouldn't
moved,
be
too.
happening. So, who knows? But hopefully we'll be able to vote on it. We'll keep you posted more on this because this is obviously a topic that affects us all.
Everybody,
Yeah.
absolutely everybody, man.
Whether you're for it or against it, hopefully you get to have your say. But yeah, it looks like it will probably be closed for the whole summer because, good point that you mentioned, 90
Yeah.
days from May 13th will bring us pretty
That's
much.
why
to
they're
the
probably
exactly.
like, I don't know if they all plan it. They all know what they're doing. They're gonna get most of the summer. out.
For sure.
I have a feeling they lollygagged on it enough and dicked around to the very last moment because they knew that they had the 90 days and they're like, fuck it, 3 months is the entire summer of Banff anyways. If we
But-
have to close it a couple weeks early in October, if this
It
goes
used to
through,
be
fuck it.
free though. Like during COVID, they're like, we'll give you guys this space,
Yeah.
and then they kept closing. They're like, now you got to pay for this.
Yeah.
Now you got to pay for this.
Yeah, that's
Now
a
you
good
got to pay
point.
for this. And you know what? I don't know these businesses. I don't run their books. I don't know. But how can a free extra patio space that was bringing in money continue to pay you after you're paying out for all these licenses and shit?
Right.
Like,
Because it's like everyone, I think every patio's got a fee. And I do know that there
Mhm.
is, if you want to have pet friendly patios, like say Brew Pub has a pet friendly patio, but Tommy's doesn't. They're fucking 10 feet apart. What is the fucking difference? They're all outside.
didn't know
Yeah.
they
You know what
charged
the difference
extra.
is?
That's crazy.
You know what the difference is? A fee for pets. That's
Yeah.
the difference. So
Insane.
now they're nickel and diamond people, and it's just going to turn into a fucking money grab. It already is. Like every single one
Mhm.
of these patios, depending on how many seats you have, you pay per seats.
that's right.
That's a fee, right? So
Yeah.
you pay this. So now the town of Banff has all this extra income coming in. Now they're nickel diamond people like, oh, you want to allow a dog on there? Now it's an extra whatever. And it's like, but
It's
it's
a
already
lot.
fucking out. You're going to tell me I can't allow a dog outside.
When it was free, it was
It's
dope.
like, what about Bears? Like, what about Bear Street? Just no dogs on Bear Street because you can just eat a hamburger wherever the fuck you want. Like,
Even because
where's
they
the
closed
end of
Wolf
it?
Street too. Wolf Street gets all those patios
Yeah,
as well
Wolf
by
Street,
Arrows and
yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah.
I think
And that road already sucks to drive on when it's completely open.
Big
Oh, I
time.
know exactly.
Like, I,
I
don't know.
it just doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna get paid
I don't
the
know,
big
man.
bucks.
agreeance that I think what it once was, it has morphed into something totally
It's
different.
turned
over
into
the
profit.
years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
it
just
went
so-
from helping people out to a money grab.
Crazy how that works.
That's
huh?
what I think anyway. I mean, I don't know the inner workings.
Hopefully, I
of
don't get
this.
fired.
I mean, hey, it's not your decision. You're a
No.
worker.
No, I ain't nobody over
these
there.
Are, we're allowed, I feel like we should be allowed to discuss this. We're not saying that it's a good or a bad thing. If we're talking traffic, there's points there. If we were talking, of course, we're not trying to jeopardize your job.
No,
at all, brother.
honestly, dude, I'm so low on that totem pole. I do not matter.
But I mean, you're allowed to have an opinion on it as well, right? It's
Yeah.
not like
I mean, I
Well,
live
yeah,
here. I
well,
drive
yeah.
these streets too.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, we all live here. We got to deal with this all summer. We all drive those streets. We got to deal with the traffic, the extra traffic, the people. Like I need even down here, like even way down Cougar, like it's packed.
Oh,
like it's just
yeah,
the cars
for
down
sure.
here are insane every morning. Like,
Well, I also got a bunch of Airbnbs across the street from my apartment, which at one point
I
I
thought
thought
those
you weren't
were-
allowed to have.
I thought you're not allowed to have Airbnb.
But I think there's like grandfathered in things or whatever because
okay.
they're all 100% Airbnbs and they all park in front of my apartment. And then I'm like, well, where the fuck can I park? And then I
Super
can't
annoying.
move. And then I get a ticket for $75 for not moving. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
I know. I hear it.
Ooh.
It's
killing me.
it's
$75
the-
bucks. That's a
it's
lot
the
of money.
They got to do something with parking and like they got to start. They got. I think my solution to the thing is stop. Have a fucking checkpoint.
visitor cap.
Like at
Oh, like Lake Louise.
have a checkpoint. Here's the parking lot. You turn off here
Mhm.
and don't let people like you
Or
know where the
can't
Banff
come
Ave
in.
sign
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Have a turn off right there, or have
Yeah.
a turn off right after it. Right, you
I
know,
was
like
thinking-
move the Banff sign
Hey,
up.
boys,
to,
I'm going to
like-
be right back.
Oh yeah, no
No
worries.
problem.
Like move the Banff sign up and then just have everybody turn left at the Banff sign and you go into the parking lot and that's it. If that's full, they direct you to another parking lot. Like they got to make people not bring their cars
Well, I
downtown.
think that's the
part of
idea
issue,
with
right?
with the added manpower on long weekends
Right.
and the added budget that's been allotted to that. I think that's the idea. I was like, why don't they park the airstrip? Why don't they park
well,
that?
because that's technically
Emergency, I get
believe
it.
as FAA goes at or like whatever the Canadian Aeronautics
Ah.
Association, whatever it is that would
Because I mean, I've never
oversee
seen
that.
that
It's-
used.
so that runway is only for emergency landings
Okay.
only.
Fair.
So
It has
if,
to be
if
there
you're
in a
out in the
mountainous
mountains,
region,
like if
yeah.
you're below, if you're between Kelowna and Springbank Airport
Yeah.
out in Calgary, and you have an engine problem, you can land there. I think there's like another tiny, small, like very tiny one, kind of near Canmore.
Yeah.
I've seen it just on the flight simulator flying over because it's all Google mapped. But
All right. Well, I guess you can't park the airstrip.
so yeah, I don't know if you'd want to have cars parked there and then have a Cessna come in and have to do emergency landing on a bunch of Kias. But
Yeah, all right. That
could make
makes
for a
some-
great meme.
That's kind of where I was going with it. Well, stay posted with us, guys. We will bring you more about this topic as it develops. And check out that article. It's actually on the town of Banff.
Right.
So that link that's on this post brings you to kind of the timeline of how things have progressed and where they're going. So we'll know more on May 13th. And we'll go from there. So I guess look forward to a closed Banff Ave this summer. If there's any action, I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon. So yeah, let's move on.
Hell yeah. Oh, here we go. Kyle.
Yo,
So
this
we,
is crazy.
So-
we hear there may be some inside details.
So this is
Yes.
a crazy post that was posted up. So it says a friend of mine was jumped with a knife while trying to take his bike on Squirrel Street at about 2:30 a.m. last night, right after the bars closed. Just putting a word to walk friends home and be safe. Apparently there was 4 of them. Now the comments lower down read trying or did they actually take it? Also, was your friend assaulted? I'm assuming this has been reported to the RCMP. It says, yes, reported. Apparently, there were some wounds, but held on to his bike. So, keep your head on a swivel when you're walking home, especially if you got, keep your head on a swivel out there walking home
Yeah,
late
that's
at night.
that's
'cause-
wild, man.
Like
That's
I
wild.
roll with a backpack all the time, and half the time it's empty.
Mhm,
Somebody that's trying to rob somebody doesn't know that.
true.
Yeah,
you know?
good point. I do the
Yeah.
same thing. I
Like
just
I got a
carry-
license plate in my backpack right now. That's it.
Like,
That's it.
That's wild.
That is insanely crazy. So it says Squirrel Street, right? So you know where the garbage cans are on Squirrel, right on the other side of Lyricon? Like right
Yeah.
as you turn that bend?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that's right near my house.
It sounds like they were waiting in that Lyricon lot out of people seeing them kind of thing and coming out.
Because it is super dark on that lot.
Yeah,
late at
it
night,
is.
for
Yeah.
sure.
It is. And I actually know the guy that they're talking about in that post.
Damn.
And I was out on my balcony ripping a dart and he stops by and he's like, bro, this was crazy. And I asked about the post itself. And he was like, yeah, dude, that was me.
That's fine.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Is he all right?
He seems all right. I mean, that's a scary moment. So I don't know how he's doing as far as going by there again at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man.
Yeah,
like
that could
I
be
go
it.
by there all the time after work. Maybe not
That's-
2:30, but
That's
you
where
know.
that's how I walk home.
Yeah.
That's how I get home.
Yeah,
Shit,
that's a route
man.
I ride back and forth to work too, right? Like I
But-
go around that corner every day twice.
And it's not 2:30 like you said, but
Mhm.
regardless, from what I'm understanding from my buddy there is they were waiting in the lot for people to go by. And I asked him, I was like, do you think this was targeted? Because I know he's got a pretty good bike and
Right.
whatever. And a lot of people in town do.
for sure.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, there's a
Sweet
lot
bikes.
of $10,000 bikes in town. It's
And
a mountain town.
so I was like, do you think they were waiting for you specifically? Like, did they see you go home this way or whatever? And he's like, no, I think they were just straight up for anybody to go buy in a bike. They're looking for bikes. And he did say there's like 4 or 5 of them and they surrounded them like fucking sharks.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah. But
That's
he
wild.
clocked one of them. Hey, he
Good
got,
for him, man.
Yeah. He
Hell
got,
yeah, dude.
So when I was talking to him, I'm like, dude, like, what do these guys look like? Like, what's the deal? He goes, man, I'd like, I'm not gonna say because it might sound fucked up, but he's like, the one guy's definitely got a broken jaw or a black eye. Like he fucking tooled this one kid,
Sick.
Nice.
and then
That's
they
what he
all
gets.
ran in towards the lot. So I think they were parked in
Somewhere,
that
yeah.
lot.
Yeah, Brandon got
Mm.
fucked out of there. Yeah.
He said he
Crazy.
didn't recognize any of them, but I mean, there's so many people coming and going from
Well,
this
that's-
town.
yeah,
you
that's it.
can't know everybody.
Well, there's also kind of bad actors coming in on the weekends and stuff to cause shit.
Weekends are
man.
fucking
Sure.
greasy, dude.
For
Do you not
I don't-
remember that U-Haul that got found with like 400 bikes in it?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
that was
It was like
wild.
a
Yeah.
legit like bike theft ring that
Yeah.
was going around Banff, Canmore, Lake Louise.
There's a lot of
stealing
auto
bikes.
theft going on too at that same time.
Pretty
Yeah,
crazy,
that's
man.
right. Oh, yeah, there was.
I think
We
they
had one
just-
a few weeks ago on the podcast. Well, that might have been a month or two ago.
Yeah, that was from the hotel parking lot.
yeah,
that was pretty
car got
crazy.
Where at?
stolen from a hotel. It was somewhere in town here, and
They didn't say the hotel, I think, but yeah, it just got stolen from like the hotel.
yeah, and
parking
somebody saw it on the highway, like ripping by. I guess it went by him like 200 mile an hour on
Oh,
the highway, like
fuck.
cutting people off and shit. And they, yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
they got taken up from Middle Springs. Like they're not even worried about downtown. My
No.
buddy's truck got taken from Middle Springs up
That's
on
crazy.
the most random street I've ever fucking been on in my life.
Because there's no one up there.
And they found it like hours away, and there was like kids' toys and shit in like booster seats. Like
What?
somebody was like driving their family around in it.
That's
Like,
crazy. man.
Yeah, dude. He did get it back though.
That's
but at the end of the day, it's there's a lot of that greasy stuff going on, and you do got to be careful, man. And
Well,
especially this
yeah.
town with knives and shit. Like,
Yeah,
that's not. It's
man,
not.
That's not cool.
It's not a
People
joke
don't play
anymore.
that shit, man.
No, it's not a joke anymore. And like I know how to disarm firearms several different ways. And if you got a handgun or a long gun, it don't matter. But like handguns need to reload and they jam. And
Yeah.
they're not sharp and you can
Mhm.
grab onto them. Like it's not the same. Like you can't.
If
just
you
go
grab
in-
onto a knife, you might slice your fingers off.
yeah,
Right. You know?
like exactly. You're not just going in and grabbing a knife. That's a different situation. Like
Yeah.
it's I don't know, man.
It's,
Well, I
it's
think it's
not
just important for everyone out there to know to be mindful of your surroundings when you're out there late at night walking home. Walk home with some friends or take a cab. You got a great cab company here. They'll make sure you get home safe. I know they got me home safe a couple times.
They do me a good service.
yeah,
Those
they
guys,
do a
man.
good
Yes,
job.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
man,
So-
taxi.
That or rely on your friends, walk in groups because you don't want to get caught by some.
Because it
of
is
these
dark
guys.
over there, man, and you
Yeah.
can't see in
Wow.
that parking lot.
No.
If they hop up behind the dumpsters and you're just there's 4-on-1,
Yeah,
chance of you winning.
pretty
I don't know how
Yeah.
fucking sick you are at scrapping, but chances are
you
it's not
either
so
way. Like
fucking
four
good.
small dudes against you. That's
But
either way,
it sounds
man,
like
yeah.
he held his own. He got out of there. He kept his bike.
nice.
But
That's good. Good news. Good news.
definitely happened, and definitely you
That's
need to look
scary,
out
man.
for. And
Yeah, keep your
you know,
head up
maybe
out
they're
there.
listening because now we know.
Well,
Now we know
actually,
what's up.
yesterday I went to McDonald's to get some breakfast. And it was pretty early. It would have been like 9:30 ish. Walk out. There's like 3 RCMP walking down the street. I'm like, I've lived here for 10 years. I don't think once have I ever seen an RCMP doing foot patrol on Banff Ave.
Well, they could be
And it's like-
investigating from the night before, honestly, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Right.
like the only time you'll see them down there is like Friday, Saturday nights. They park the cars in the middle of Banff Ave. They sit
Mhm.
there, they hang out, they look for drunk people. That's not.
Those were the Aurora days. They
Yeah.
used to do that shit,
Yeah,
man.
it's not
dude.
like the
Yeah.
active. That's not an active like
They're in front of Hoodoo, Aurora.
on duty police
yeah,
force
but
or
you can't
presence.
you can't expect them to be everywhere at once. You know
No,
what I mean?
but
These
when
guys
there's
are
people
clearly
getting
looking.
fucking stabbed and robbed, like in the past couple of years, especially,
Yeah,
like put some fucking boots on the ground, man. Like chuck 2 guys downtown. How
Yeah.
hard would it be to just have 2 guys walk up and down Banff
Just a
Ave?
presence
Well,
going.
you give me 50 fucking K a year and let me have a handgun. I'll walk up and down goddamn Banff Ave all summer.
No,
I
they're
don't
taking-
care.
that's the last thing I think we want.
Like, come on, man.
They're
Like, it's just
ticketing people for
insane.
racking darts. You know,
Yeah.
that's
It's like, come on now. Like,
Yeah.
I get it, but like,
I don't want to
something's
be
like-
too critical of
No,
cops
but-
because I think they do a little more than what we are privy to.
Oh, we
and
don't
that
see
what
it,
we
man.
see.
They're
Yeah,
behind
we
the
don't
scenes.
see 'em, yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
we think they don't know,
Yeah.
they know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Anybody
so-
who thinks they're slick, you ain't.
Yeah.
It's too small of a
Yeah.
town, man.
No,
Everybody
yeah.
knows what's
yeah,
going on.
it's that too, but
So watch out if you're out there on both sides of that. I
Yeah,
guess. You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
be careful. Just,
Moving on to our next post here. We got some more posts coming for you. What do we got?
let's see. Oh, what do we got? There we go. Looks like parade's back this year, boys.
Parade is
The,
back. On the
Canada
lighter
Day.
side of things, Canada Day parade. Last year they didn't have a parade. They had satellite installations of different events and things.
Is
and-
that what they did?
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like a very interactive style Canada Day
Weird.
last year. And
Weird.
it was very, very quiet in town, not going to lie. Canmore had a parade. I think that took a lot of the visitors for Canada Day. So
For the kids, they're gonna want to parade.
they're going to want
Yeah.
a parade, man.
Yeah,
Kids-
like it's kids a kid. Like they just want to see horses and people walk down a street and get candy.
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
Canada Day is one of the more family-friendly events here in the town of Banff. So it's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
that the parade is
Yeah.
back. We can finally
But look at how
ram Banff
crazy
out.
that photo
That
is
looks
right there.
sick,
I know,
like-
it's
Man,
like-
and that you used to see that a lot on most weekends. That first year I lived here, the Labor Day weekend, they had the sheepdogs and the Arkells.
Oh, right.
They had a
Yeah.
big ass stage,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and it was like my first couple weeks at the candy store, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go use the bathroom." And I dipped, and I had like 4 beers, and I watched the concert.
Nice.
And I went back. They were like, Last time you do that," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
Yeah,
but like
last
they used to
time you
do
do that.
cool shit on Banff Ave, man.
I know. It's sick.
Well, hey, the return of at least one cool thing. So this one says start planning and register. They have guidelines and stuff. There's a little website here on the Town of Banff Facebook page. I'm sure you go to their website. They'll have plenty of ads for stuff if you want to enter a float or be part of the
Hell yeah.
parade. Go ahead and join and be part of the festivities. That's probably, I want to say, the busiest day in Banff for the whole year is probably Canada
Yeah,
Day.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
What
dude.
a better
it's,
place
it's
to bring in to celebrate Canada than the heart of
it's
the mountains.
wild
you know?
out
It's
here.
awesome.
like even I'll get done work and I'm like, I'm just gonna go downtown
sick.
and like
Yeah.
see what
Now-
absolute madness is going.
Now that I don't work downtown, I'm happy
Yeah.
to go in there and like be a part of it.
100%.
Before I'm like, I'm forced to deal with this, you know.
exactly. Yeah, you deal with them all day, and you're like, I don't want to go and hang out with these people. I just
Yeah.
got done serving them.
But it is cool, man. They do put on good shit. They really do.
I mean, we live here. You can't blame people for wanting
No.
to come
Why do you
here.
think we're
know,
here?
it's sick,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, yeah, Canada Parade, stoked for it.
Well, speaking of parades and super long lineups of cars doing questionable things, how about this?
Oh, boo! I hate that. Oh,
All right. So this post here is from Alberta Wildlife. It's some closures that they've put into effect. The post reads, please delete if not allowed. FYI to anybody planning to photograph the boss or split lip. They've set up a no stopping zone along the 1A where they've been seen grazing with a $25,000 fine linked to it, which is super dope.
they have to enforce it though, otherwise it means nothing.
Yeah.
True, but at least it will. These people that are going out photographing that are anyways trying to look for wildlife, they're looking on these Facebook pages.
Nailed it.
Like they're looking on these Facebook pages trying to find clues as to where they are. I think a $25,000 fine would definitely deter most of them.
You know what? I think so, but I also
There
don't
are
think.
stupid people out there.
And it sucks because I love wildlife so much that
Mhm.
when you go down the street, there's a fucking deer. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like 9 cars stopped and they're all out of their. It's like, man, leave the thing alone.
Oh, I
Because if
hate
you
it.
get charged or you get kicked or whatever, that animal's gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
That animal's gonna
Yeah.
die because
'Cause
you
you're
wanted
an
to
idiot.
post
Yeah.
on your fucking
Yeah.
Instagram page
So
a photo of a
dumb.
I
deer.
actually, I
hate that.
confronted somebody once. It was like right in front of White Bark. Actually, it was right in front of Ticino's. There's
Right.
like that big patch, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
fucking like long tall grass or whatever. There's full grown elk standing there, like munching on grass, and this guy's like from me to you away, buddy. Like trying to go up. I'm like, buddy, leave that thing alone. And he's like, excuse me. I'm like, leave that thing alone. He's like, who are you? I'm like, well, I live here. That thing's about 1,000 pounds and will murder you. to
Yeah.
death." And he's like, mind your own fucking business, buddy. It's an amusement park.
Dude.
I'm like, it's a national park. Fuckface, not an amusement park. The guy spit in my
Yeah.
face. I looked at this
man.
dude and I open hand clapped this dude harder than his mom would have. Like
Oh.
300 mile an hour straight up, like your mom just belted the will of God right back in
You
you,
said
buddy.
the F word when you were 8 and your mom smacked the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, it
If
was
you're
like
spitting on people,
yeah.
that's a fight on site. I don't care.
oh,
who you
straight
are,
up.
but
That's
Yeah,
disrespect.
and you get that a lot here. You're just like, leave that thing
Yeah.
alone. They're like, fuck you. It's
It-
like, okay, well, you get mangled by 1,000 pound elk. Don't come.
And I
come
want to
to
see
me.
it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not going to stop anybody else.
No.
So yeah, this closure is along the 1A. So if you're out there looking to photograph some bears or some wildlife, there's a no stopping zone. I'm sure it's very clearly marked. Stay out of there. Give them their space, man. They're just trying to get fat. Spring's just around the corner.
yeah.
They're
Leave-
just trying to
leave them
chill,
be.
man.
They just
Leave
trying
them
to
be,
chill
man.
and
They're
eat.
trying to chill.
They're stoned. They want to eat, man.
That's
Get
it.
the
Fuck yeah.
munchies. Let's go.
Oh, you eat berries. You got to eat a lot of them.
That's right.
Don't you find it weird that bears eat
I
berries?
like
Pretty
that.
wild. Shower thought. I had one today,
Shower
which was weird.
thought.
Okay, this is a little
Oh, God.
unrelated. Get this, right? So, you know, like when you eat corn, right? Like either like canned or on the cob. You know, like the next
Yeah.
day, right?
Yeah,
You know you ate some corn.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you know you eat corn.
So I went to town on some
Even if you
corn
don't know
nuts
that you
last
ate corn.
night.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Not the same effect,
Okay,
man. Like
okay.
I was, I don't know why. I was just thinking about it earlier. I was like, it's not the same for some reason.
I thought you were going to be
Oh,
like,
God.
exact same thing. I'm
No,
like, holy fuck.
not the same. I was
Not the same.
expecting the same thing. but
He's
It's
like-
not.
I was expecting full corn nuts. To come
No,
out.
yeah, and that's
That
I
would've
thought
been-
I was gonna have like
I'm glad that it's not the same because I feel like corn nuts and a corn kernel coming out of your ass is going to be two
Oh.
drastically different
Textures.
pain and
Yeah.
pain tolerance.
I thought I was gonna have like a very like elk or deer like experience, but it.
But
it
also
was
corn
normal,
nuts are
dude. It was
fire.
normal.
Little
Yeah, corn
pebbles,
nuts
oh
are fire. I
God.
got into them last night, big time. Anyways, moving on.
Well, speaking of something a little different and off the cuff. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh, these
perfect.
guys are funny, man.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Improv, free improv drop-in classes every Tuesday from 4 to 6. This is the Bad Altitude local improv team. Our boy Tim from work. Big shout out to Tim.
Yo, he works with you guys still?
Yeah.
Every time I see his posts, he's in like fucking Europe or like.
Well,
he's
he's
just
an
gone.
actor, man.
I saw him on a commercial. Yeah, he's always acting.
You
Yeah.
guys
I saw
make
him on
mad
a-
coin over there, eh? But he's just gone.
I
saw
think
him
he
on a
makes more
commercial
coin
recently.
acting because he's like
He's in plays and stuff. He does.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
does
does,
lots of
a
cool
lot of
Yeah,
stuff. So
he's good shit.
if you're looking to do some improv, stand-up comedy, this might be a good place to start. They have drop-in classes, so I think it's more teaching and instruction and probably practicing improv because I'm sure that's probably a big thing that you learn by doing.
No doubt.
It says join us, no experience required. They're with the Banff Canmore Community Foundation, so it looks like they're being sponsored by them, probably with the space to do this.
Great.
So yeah, big shout out. You want to do some improv? Hit 'em
Stop.
up.
Yeah, just drop in, man.
They've
for
been
sure.
doing this for a while. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's always been this name, but that same group, that core group of dudes,
Yeah, absolutely.
think
and
it is,
females,
yeah.
they've been
Mhm.
going hard, man. They started doing shows at the lodge before anybody was doing shows at the lodge, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
I do have them planned to come on. I think we have them slated. We got to hammer out the details.
Because
so
Big
we'll be in
Daddy
touch.
Braden's part of that too.
That's
yeah,
right.
Big
Yeah.
Daddy
Yeah,
Braden.
yeah, he
I
does
ran
it
into
as
him
well,
last night at the comedy show. Actually, it had been a while, but
Dude, Braden's fucking hilarious.
yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
got lots of time for Braden.
Oh hell yeah, he's good shit. Speaking of hilarious, did anybody see this post today? Tell me that you saw this, guys. There's audio with it. If
oh
just-
god, if you're squeamish, mute your audio.
did somebody
for
break
like
something?
10 seconds.
no, I don't think they.
Am I
broke
gonna
something.
green out?
No, you won't. You won't get to hear it. But
You might green out.
Oh, this is hilarious.
band.
Brain.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that was
that
back a year ago.
sucks.
So
That was a year ago?
I don't know.
Dude, when-
That was posted
okay.
like this morning.
Yeah,
So
that
when
was-
I saw
was
that,
posted this morning.
the actual, not the one that was posted, but the actual like original video, dude, it had like 4,000 views. Shit, like
I'll
it,
tell you, it can't be. It can't be more than a year ago because the
yeah,
Zyka sign.
yeah,
So it's
Zyka,
gotta be
yeah.
recent.
and I mean the ground was wet and it was snowing a little bit last night, but that was funny, man. I mean, sometimes you play stupid
Yo.
games and you win stupid fucking prizes.
Oh man,
And,
like the clap of that dude hitting the ground.
the skull, dude, that was
The
great.
sound is so
Oh.
bad. Like I listened to it. Matt had it played when I got here. He's like, I got this queued up. I'm like, dude, turn the sound off. Like I can't.
Hell yeah,
hear it.
he was actually getting
Oh.
squeamish.
Dude,
He's like, bro.
then that
bro,
girl
stop
shows up.
it.
I don't know
Like,
if they're together. She's like, "You okay, man?" And
He's like, that guy's not okay.
no, he is
he
definitely
fucking
feeling.
brained himself.
He's definitely feeling that this morning. Like
Yeah.
that's like coming
Oh.
down off like a backside one,
also-
and just clipping a heel edge and just dummying.
What was the end game? How sick are you holding on to that sign? Like, what was dope about
Yeah,
that?
like yeah,
This isn't slapping a basketball rim when
Yeah.
you're 8 years old.
That
Like,
was
that
not
was
dope.
dope. Like,
This was not dope.
oh, buddy
This guy's having a not dope time.
Well, it was great for us. I mean, I think
his
it's
buddy
hilarious.
posted it. That's so fucking funny.
Yo, big shout
Oh,
out
yeah.
to the sign company who made an
Dude,
indestructible
Bam
sign.
Signs,
Bam Sign
dude.
Company. That can support your signs can support 200 pounds of dude and
Hello.
will dummy them in the process.
Dummy
but-
them. And big shout out to Anish and Zyka as well. Anish, if you've
Zyka's
been in
fire.
town for any
Oh,
time,
straight fire.
you know Anish. Big shout out Zyka.
He was at Masala first.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
the owner of Masala and
Oh,
Zyka
no
and all
shit.
that stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Zyka's like their elevated
Darky.
Indian food. So
Dude,
I'll be checking it
yeah.
out for sure.
Yeah, I remember you plugged that chicken 89 or 72 or whatever it
Oh, the
is.
chicken 76? Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, chicken 65.
Chicken 65, yeah,
chicken
yeah.
65. I
It's
don't know why I always
lit.
call it 76.
It's
I
so
do it
good.
every time.
It's
I'm
so
like,
good.
I'm
I
like,
remember I was asking about who's got the fire chicken. You're like, bro, you gotta get
Oh,
that
yeah.
chicken
Because we're at
65, dude.
65, man.
Oh, it's
It's
unreal.
not wings, but it's good. Dude.
Yeah.
It is good.
Well, I think they use this next post maybe to tenderize their chicken because check this out.
This one was good. So this is a post on Overheard in Banff. It's some concept art for a new town of Banff proposal, and it's some AI generated art with a dude in like a onesie with a toque on. You got Mount Rundle in the back, and you have a bench covered in spikes with pay to sit.
Dude, that's a crazy Larry outfit.
Yeah, so-
Dude,
what?
my god,
Dude, that's
They
a
got
crazy Larry.
in the future.
Dude,
Did you
here.
see the
that's a fit, dude.
Did you see the price here as well? It's just like $159,456.
Yeah, so maybe this is a glimpse to the future. The AI generated future of Banff will be a pay to sit bench.
Yeah, and you know how you
environment.
can tell AI generated picture. Look at his fingers. They're
are they weird?
Yeah,
Oh.
They are
they're
weird.
Always weird. He's got like this one's like a take my strong
Oh,
hand.
dude, the guy's got a left hand on his right hand.
Dude, how
Yeah,
does AI get
no
to
doubt.
make art while humans are still working in Amazon factories?
Oof.
That's that's got to be the wackest shit.
That's
man.
got-
That's just whack.
It's just simply the whack.
I didn't see this today. This is hilarious.
Yeah, this was a
Oh,
couple
God.
of days ago, but yeah.
But
hopefully,
what is the message of it though? That it's just
I
too
think it's
expensive
like-
to even sit down here?
That's it. Like
Yeah.
eventually they
Yeah.
will have pay to sit.
Dude, that's fucking wild.
What a
I think
future,
they're,
right?
they're doing it, but I don't know.
Hopefully we'll never get
We'll all
there.
boycott.
Well,
be all
this I don't know what the fuck happened with this next post.
This
it's-
next one is
like
wild.
it's obviously does the link actually go to like a
I didn't check the link, but let's cut to it.
right. Oh, some pornogs?
no?
Okay.
It says join us Saturday, April 20th for Bear Day at the Canmore Nordic Center. Learn all about bears in Canada and Essex country and the bear necessities of bear safety. For more info,
Oh.
visit the link. And it looks like it goes Alberta Parks, but the
Yo.
picture looks basically like if you took two Rob Halfords, dressed them up in leather, and it's
It's just Rob
very
Halford.
homoerotic.
So someone took
Yo.
it's
a serious topic.
Okay, so I found this on Bow Valley Network. The Canmore Nordic Center is actually having a Bear Awareness Day, and there was another post that actually had wholesome photos of like
It's
and somebody
hairspray and stuff.
took this.
So
Somebody
someone
just
was trying to be
reposted
funny
it.
and added this
You know
picture.
what? You succeeded because that's fucking
Holy!
hilarious.
I had to look at it twice. I was like, "What is
it?
this?"
Was not posted by the Banff
Yo,
Nordic
the
Center
comments
or the
were-
Canmore Nordic Center at all, but
The comments were unhinged, boys. Like people were like, "This needs to be taken down." Other people were like, "This is so awesome," tagging their friends.
I don't
like,
think
"Oh,
it's-
this is an event for
Oh,
you, dude."
buddy, yeah,
Like,
right, it's
I don't
going
think
on the
it's bad or
podcast.
anything. I
Yeah,
think it's
just-
funny as fuck that they're like, there's two types of bears out there.
there
man."
are two types of
Like-
bears. They just, I think what happened is they were trying to type in a AI generated like we just need a picture of bear safety, and this is what came up, and they're just like, you know what, I don't have time today. We're using it.
To be clear, this is definitely not the organizers of the event that posted this. This is
No,
someone that's definitely
no,
trying to
no.
promote the
Yeah,
event.
this was posted by,
Um,
and so I went to blur out their information, and their picture was already black. So I think this is just somebody made like a dummy account just
It's
to fuck
gotta
with
be.
people,
It's
and I
gotta
love
be.
it. It's
And-
great. If this was you that posted this, by the way, get at me. Let me know.
Pretty wild stuff. Moving on.
Well, on to the our classic last post of our most recent podcast. I guess we've been doing it for weeks. now.
Yeah.
We've been kind of ending with one of these, kind of getting everybody's little 2 cents. But let's get it.
So this one's pretty cool.
Oh, dude, this is the best weed store in town. Straight up.
So this is from
This
one
is
of our
great.
local weed shops, and they've been doing the votes tallied up, which is pretty cool. So this one, Best of Banff, you vote. Best
Alleyway.
smoke spot. You got the best smoke spot in
The
Banff.
parkade that's so greasy.
Right on top, right the top deck of the
So you got,
greasy old arcade.
So the few of the options here are By the River, Chairlift, Alleyway, Parkade, Lake Minnewanka, Middle of the Woods, Tunnel Mountain. By the River's winning with 6. Chairlift close second with 3. Tunnel Mountain's got 2. Middle of the Woods is 1. I don't know why you would go Middle of the Woods. You don't have to hide anymore.
Get fucking lost.
Lake
I mean,
Minnewanka's
if you're
pretty dope.
hiking, like, I guess you don't really
I
have
can't get
much of a
too fried
choice.
if I'm hiking, bro. I'm not gonna want to hike anymore.
Oh, I do. I don't mind it. Me and my buddies
Yeah,
used to get
bro.
right. We'd smoke like
Well,
two joints on
Channing
the way
told me
into a
what
fishing,
you guys do when you hike.
Oh,
Heard
God.
all about that.
That was pretty awesome, man. That's kind of my new hobby.
That's your new jam, yeah.
Yeah, I like to take some trips when I'm hiking, so to speak.
I'm more of a on my living room couch fucking guy. Get fried.
Yeah, I hike in VR. I don't. I
VR?
just pretend. Yeah,
That shit's scary,
I
dude.
just pretend to hike.
No, I'm actually getting
I have a hiking app. I just get in there, and if you move your arms, you move. It's got real mountains and stuff. You can get in. You can download whatever mountain you want. I've got Assiniboine on there. I got Everest. I've done Everest 3 times.
This isn't
now.
real, is it?
No, I'm
No,
just-
No,
it's
bro.
not.
I was like, that's fucking crazy.
I mean, there are like climbing video games, but no.
Speaking of the establishment where we get this sign from, one of their employees is going to come do a weed episode with us.
Is it the dude with the face tat? That guy is the fucking tits, dude.
Let's go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's
So
go.
every time we're going in there,
He's the homie.
his name is John. John's always
Okay.
there providing really good service, and we get into talking cannabis together. And he's a very passionate guy about the subject. So when is it going to be here? Sorry, I got to check my notes.
He used to come to the candy store almost
May
every day.
21st.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, funny place to find someone who works in it.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be our May long weekend episode.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to having John on with us. We're going to dive into more about cannabis culture in the Bow Valley,
Fuck yeah.
legalization, and I don't know, kind of see where that goes. That's going to be super fun. 'cause-
Just hang out and have stoner talk. I guess
absolutely. Next week, we got another comedian, our last comedian for now. We will jump back into some comedians further on. I got one lined up for the first week of June. But we'll dive into that in a couple more episodes. Next week, we got the hilarious Zach Andrews coming by.
Let's go.
Again, one of the newer guys on the scene. Super funny, super great. We're giving him some props last week. He's been doing awesome at giving us our props as well. So big shout out to Zach.
He showed up
Shit,
and
it is.
immediately killed it. His first set.
That first set, yeah. Was
Bro,
nuts,
you guys were there that night.
Yeah, we were there that night.
It
I was
was-
like, is this?
He's
No,
like,
he
how
said
the-
it was his third set.
Oh, third.
Oh,
that
really?
night.
He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that was his third
Okay.
set.
Yeah,
But
but
like-
either
I mean,
way,
that was still a fucking killer.
Yeah, either
It
way, it
was-
was like
I had to go on after him, bro. I was shook.
Did great after him, but yeah,
Fuck.
he's smoking.
I
He
was
got
like,
placed
come
down.
on, man.
come on, man. It's like the same shit happens too. Like if I'm playing a DJ set and it's just like the person before you is just crushing, you're like, fuck.
You're like, yo, I'm going the fuck home,
Do
dude.
I just pack it up and just call it a night and just go to bed, or do I just like try to throw it down as hard as I can?
So you're DJing, playing bass, playing guitar, recording motherfuckers, and doing the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Like you're in it.
Matt's
Yeah.
in it. What are the bands that you're in again? Tell the viewers because I don't think we've touched on that yet.
So Suspended Glaciers.
Yeah. What type of music is that?
It's more like gentcore kind of heavy metal.
Is that local?
Yep. So that started as my solo project, and
Like
we've
Panic at the Disco, where you're like the guy doing everything?
yeah, kind of
Word.
Cool.
We've
That's
got
so sick.
yeah, we've got like
That's so sick.
so we've got a full band. We're kind of just getting back into jamming. We got some new stuff we're working on. And then I just joined up with All the Time Everywhere, which is a local.
I love that
punk
band.
Big
band.
shout out all the
I
time.
so I'll
love that band,
I'll be
dude.
playing bass with those guys.
Nice.
Super stoked, super good homies of mine. Me and Channing played in Moon Tower together.
That
like,
was
years
Lou
ago.
and TJ,
Yeah, Lou
right?
TJ. Yeah.
Big shout out to Chan. I was up riding with him today. Hopefully he's
And he
feeling
hurt his
all
shoulder. I
right.
hope
Took
you're
a
okay,
bit of a-
Chan.
You
bit
better
of
be at band
spill,
practice
bro.
tomorrow,
Hope
Chan.
you're all
That's
right,
it.
man. Hope
He
you're
did
all right,
tell
dude.
me when I leave here and I get home that don't let him still be there. And I was like, I know you're gonna be here, dude.
What, at your house?
Oh fuck yeah,
At Kev's?
yeah.
I know what he's
Nice.
doing over there. Yeah, let him go home.
No, he's drinking seltzer water, man.
Oh. Oh, yeah. I guess
He's doing
probably
good. He got
drinking
that root
beers, yeah.
canal and shit, but
Yep.
he was like, I won't be here. I'm like, yeah, you will.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, he's been drinking those non-alky Molsons. He's been like crushing those at
Yeah,
band
you know what? He,
practice, yeah.
dude, from
Dude
when I
lost
first
like
met
80
him,
pounds, bro.
Dude, oh,
dude,
yeah.
from when I first met him to now,
Oh, wow.
he's an
dude.
absolute inspiration.
Yeah,
Last
big
time he
time.
came over, he made me do push-ups. I wanted to fucking kill him. He's like, I'm not leaving until you do push-ups. I was like, come on, man.
Oh, yeah,
It
dude.
took
Like,
me so long.
well,
Big,
like,
big shout out.
I remember seeing pictures from when Moon Tower went on tour, and if I showed you that picture right now, you'd be like, "Who the fuck is that dude?"
Pretty crazy.
Like it's insane. Like
Insane
yeah.
drummer too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Insane.
Guys,
Socks.
guys a fucking
No
machine,
shoes.
So.
All socks, baby.
All socks, baby. Big shout out to Channing. Big shout out to you, Kyle, for coming in.
Yeah,
Big
Yeah,
shout
thank
out
bro.
you
to
so
Matt.
much, homie.
This is right on.
Oh,
Big
hell
shout
yeah.
out to everyone who tuned in at home. Thank you so much. We got plenty more stuff coming for you. Zach Andrews next week, the week after that. Haven't confirmed yet, but we got Parks Canada slated to come by, do some bear
That's
safety, some
right,
animal
that's
safety
right.
stuff.
Hitting the big time.
So yeah, we're gonna confirm with them this week. Do a couple serious episodes. We've had some laughs. Time to do some more serious topics, and of course, we will be keeping everyone posted on the petition stuff as
Yeah,
it
as
comes
it,
up.
as
So
that kinda-
Yeah.
I might have to go attend or read some minutes from a meeting. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely keep our ears to the ground on that. Thanks again, man. Thanks for your time.
Man,
Thanks for coming by.
this was awesome. I'm stoked.
We appreciate everyone as always. See
See
you
you
next
next Tuesday.
Tuesday.